So, boys, I got a figure in yesterday. Yes,
I don't like the way you say that.
Still saying it that way.
Yes,
See?
it's fine. I'm pretty sure it's good. And I gotta say, as hyped as I was to get this figure in my collection,
Did it again.
I think it's actually the most disappointed I've ever felt by any figure I've received.
Really?
And I feel really like torn about it. And I'm not going to share what figure that is quite yet. I can tell you guys on the new this week. But my
It's
question
probably
for
one
you
that we
is,
told you not to get too.
it might be. Have you guys ever received a figure in your collection that you were hyped about, but once you got it in, you were like, oh, I am actually disappointed by this? Marco, you start.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm trying to think specifically. There definitely have been a few.
My cold open.
But-
Don't worry about it.
Let's see. Yeah, you're gonna have to come back to me. There's definitely a few that I'm thinking about, but let me look through my collection really quick. Let me look through all 10 figures I have.
Yeah, can he even answer this? Is he even a real collector?
Yeah, not at 200 yet, so I'm not. Anybody else? How about you, Dean?
Yeah, I got one. It was the. You guys aren't gonna know what this is, but there's an anime called Appleseed, and one of the characters is Briarios. And Hot Toys made the Briarios, so I picked it up. And while it's a really beautiful figure and like hefty, like it felt like a really quality figure, it just couldn't do anything. Like it couldn't hold the gun because he has like this big ass sniper rifle. It couldn't pose. Like the pants were tailored just enough to the body that it couldn't bend. Like it just didn't do anything. I didn't have it very long. I got rid of it because I was like, this fucking sucks. But yeah, that was one.
Radioactive man's right leg.
Oh my god.
Dude, that happened to my McFarlane Batman today. Not
happens.
the new one I just got, but the one that was the remake band of the ones that you collect.
Mm-hmm.
The hip snapped. I was so annoyed. It was like a $30 figure. I might see if I can return it. I have the Target receipt.
That might be common. Or maybe it was the freeze. I feel like one of those figures had a common thing.
Yeah,
with the
it was a
hip.
pain in the ass. I remember one time we were going to the beach, and I had seen this dude do some toy photography of this acid rain figure. It was a 1/18th scale figure, and so I bought the same figure. It was like a spaceman, and when I got it, like they use like an oil wash to weather the figure, and I guess it didn't dry before they put in the package, so the whole figure was like sticky and gross. And the mask,
remember this.
You remember this? The mask had like a drip of oil wash inside.
Zach was so pissed.
I was so mad, and it stunk. It stunk terribly. I was so fucking mad, and I was like, "Well, I'm going on this trip. Like, I need to take this thing to take toy photography." And I was so pissed that I didn't even bring it to the beach. The only day we went, and I don't even know where it's at. It's still in the luggage, probably.
You were really, really pissed.
Like $35 too.
I was gonna say they're not cheap for how small they are,
They're really not.
and you were like hyped on it for the longest time. You're like, dude, acid rain, because I think it's Jason, right?
Yeah.
From
Juarez, yeah.
ASB. Yeah, he posts really cool pictures. Yeah, that sucked.
I got fucking bamboozled.
Damn, you hate to see it. I think one that comes to mind, it's a figure that I've grown to love, but the rooted in art Joker. I think we had just spent so much time masturbating over pictures of this figure that by the time it got to our hands, like it couldn't possibly have lived up to the expectations. So that was like, it was kind of the first time I kind of went all in on a rooted figure too. I'm like, I don't think rooted is that much better, but I've kind of come to realize, yeah, rooted actually does add that much more realism. So I've turned around on it, but it was disappointing at first.
Wow, we unboxed that together.
Yeah, and I remember saying, I got the receipts. I remember saying, like, it's good. I just don't think it was quite as good as I was hoping. So,
Wow. I don't know if I trust your judgment. First,
you
wouldn't
shouldn't.
trust
No
anything
one
about
should. Wow,
Kings fan.
nothing
He's a
about
Kings
me.
fan. He skipped CW to watch the Kings play. I mean, come on.
That builds character. So many years of losing. I just am still loyal.
Not to us, my friend.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there. We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in your doll collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
This is the true form of lore gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Marco.
I'm Ben.
I don't matter, I guess.
What the fuck?
You don't matter.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Oilers, that was your cue, but
I made my duck
just
noise.
Zach
I declared
just
myself present.
just started the intro without me getting to talk about a figure that I didn't fucking like.
He took too long.
Oh, tell me, Eddie. I'm sorry.
I
a thousand
breathed,
apologies.
so on CW that means play the clip. So,
Sorry.
He gave you
I'm
a
sick
millisecond
today.
to respond, and then he moves on after.
You know I hate dead air.
wow. The most annoyed figure I ever purchased was the Aquaman from the first Aquaman movie, the solo movie. I loved that movie, and I wanted an Aquaman, and I got that figure, and I thought it was the most piece of shit hot toy I had ever purchased. So
That's such a bummer. I thought about going back on to get that one too.
I don't think any of the Aquaman they've done are good. That's why I kind of had my hopes up that they were going to make one from the second movie, because they put out, what's his name? I forget the
Black Manta.
bad guy's name. But they put him out, so I thought, oh, maybe they'll do another one, and they haven't announced it yet, so maybe I'm wrong.
Wow, there we go. My apologies, Eddie. That was unintentional. We have Toy Mafia, Sam Gist, Oilers Workshop, Tim Harvey. Can you mention the Caustic Plastic Phantom of the Opera figure that went up for pre-order in Figure News?
Haven't seen that.
Darth Tamaris, Christian Cooper, King Dingling, Cam Collects, Ben Thomas, Katera. Katera's in the house. Hey, everybody. Badfish, Action Figure Academy, Yomo. Congrats to Yomo. Baby Yomo was born today.
Nice.
Little Yomo.
Congratulations, buddy. That's awesome.
Might have been yesterday. I'm
Congrats,
actually
bro.
not quite sure, but congratulations. Let's see here. Sam, John, many times prototype marketing photos are always that much better than what we get in hand. Let's see here. Doc Smizzle, did I dial the right show for Misery? 000. Let's see here. The disrespect for money, you matter to us, Eddie. Hashtag all of them. Look at that. The chat is with you. 12-inch Blue Stream. Hello, community of collectors. I got 000, and 16 Shooter says that he had mixed feelings about missing 000. Dean, we have a very special show that we start off all of our special segment that we start off all of our best shows with. I'm sick today, so I get a pass on all my mess ups today.
Okay. But when we fuck up, it's our fault. All right.
Goddamn right, because you're not sick. You ready, Dean?
I'm sick as fuck, dude.
I'm sick of you, bro.
It's new this week.
I fucking hate you, dude.
I can't wait.
Anyway.
I can't wait to get into it with you tonight.
So
What the heck? You didn't do the thing.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
It's not our best show, to be honest. The lights are too bright today.
That's
Yeah,
that's half
it's
the
got
reason
me
people
all-
show up is to
all
hear you say that.
Flustered. So yeah. So I got a phone, but they sent me the wrong phone, and they were like, "Oh, our bad. We'll send you the right phone." But they made me turn on the wrong phone for 3 days and then send it back. So I got
Did the
the
receipt?
thing.
Did the receipt say a different phone that was in the box, or did it say the wrong phone on the receipt?
Yeah, I got a 15 plus, and they sent me a 15.
But did the receipt say 15 or 15 plus?
15 plus.
Oh, okay.
But the way that I don't know, she described it was they put the phones in like park mode, is what she called it. And until you activate it, that phone will stay that way to your number. So like if they had just given me another phone, that phone would have like come up as like stolen or something. I don't know. Whatever policies they have, they made me turn this phone on. I was like, that seems like a waste of a phone. Like, you're going to make me use this thing and then...
Yeah, but they need pre-owned phones, right?
I guess they do.
How do you think they get pre-owned phones, right?
Yeah.
Has to pre-own them.
Yeah, so like every time I need my phone, I like pick it up really careful. I was like, I don't want to fucking drop this thing, because I bought like a case, my screen protectors, everything for the 15 plus, and then I go to put the screen protector on it, and it's like twice the size of the phone. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because I was just excited to get my new phone. I wasn't looking at the box, right? Just tear that shit open, bam, screen protector. I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Yeah, I was pissed. So I had to go back to AT&T, do that whole rigmarole. So my new this week sucked, but next week I'll have an actual phone. So,
Ben, what did you do this week?
Yeah, so I got finally, after I think probably 2 years of waiting, the Toby Maguire Spider-Man. He's here. He's in the house, and
nice.
I will say, just because I know I set it up as being the most disappointed I've been for a figure. That is absolutely true. I also knew what I was buying. I did my research. I knew some of the issues on this figure ahead of time. I just didn't realize how blatantly obvious some of them would be, I guess. I never had a Spider-Man that had like the neckline here. So like this line sticks out so dramatically. And honestly, I don't feel is an upgrade to kind of like the what do I call it? Like the Tom Holland ones that have just the head over top of the neck piece here. So like the trade-off I don't think is good enough. The fact that this guy was so pricey for me and yet still doesn't have things like rolling eyes just feels like a miss. It feels like he's very lifeless in his expression. Then there's like seam lines down the edges and stuff that are just super unclean. So overall, like I was just kind of like, oh, like I felt like I overpaid for it, to be fully honest. Even this sack, if you can pull it up me one more time, right at the tip. So I got the 2.0 sculpt clearly, but you can see like this really unclean line right here and like a literal bump right at the forehead. Of course, this guy doesn't come with changeable eye lenses or anything like that. So again, it's a beautiful suit. I love Toby Maguire. He was my Spider-Man as a kid. I'm very happy to have him in the collection next to the Goblin. But I still kind of did feel let down by it. And as I said, when I look around the room, it's one of my most expensive figures with the Canadian conversion and customs charges and all of the things. So yeah, good to see it.
You had sent this photo in the show sheet chat, Ben. Mm-hmm. And then you sent it again and you changed the exposure, and I love you, Ben, but that shit is dark, bro.
I didn't realize it would be so dark.
You were like, change the exposure. I was like,
like, dude, I'm getting old, bro. I was like, I'm getting old.
What is it?
Yeah, I was like, is this my new fucking phone?
It is really dark. I apologize.
Wow. Dean's like, damn, bro, the 15 has got that retina screen, bro.
How much better is the likeness in person, Ben?
You know what? It's hard to say, because on the photos I always thought it looked pretty good either way, but in person it does look really good. It's just very, very obviously his older self. So like when I look at this Spider-Man suit, what I want to see is the young version of Tobey Maguire from the year 2000. And that's just not the figure I bought, right? I mean, it says No Way Home on the box. So I knew, as I said, I knew what I was signed up for, but he's definitely like old Tobey Maguire, like his current, pastor self, as opposed to his badass previous version.
Because I feel like anytime I get a Spider-Man hot toy, I'm kind of disappointed, just because all it really can do is stand there. Like, it can't pose as crazy as Spider-Man can. Mm-hmm. And if you do get it in a good pose, you can't really leave it there because you'll damage it. So, like, I got the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and with the Andrew Garfield head on, it's really cool, but it still just stands there. So it's like, I haven't picked up Toby yet because I kind of feel the same way. I'm like, it's just going to stand there. I'm going to spend over $300.
I'm afraid to pose that one at all.
Yeah, I feel very worried to pose this one. I have had the upgraded suit posed in a very dramatic pose for quite some time, and so far, so good. One thing I did like about this head sculpt style, though, was that like it comes with a neck piece that attaches to the body with that really ugly seam. But if you do want, you can also pop the head off independently. So technically, if you really wanted to, you could make just like a Tobey Maguire civilian figure if you wanted to, or give him something different. Put him in the pastor jacket or whatever. But I thought that was cool that the neck isn't actually permanently affixed to the head sculpt. It is transferable for some modding if you want to. Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
Congrats, bro.
Thanks, man. It's still very cool. Anybody that's got it on the way, I still think you're going to be happy to get a Toby in the collection. That's for sure.
Ben just fucking hates it. Eddie, what did you think?
As long as he didn't pay Canadian prices.
You don't pay Canadian prices.
So I got the. I'm still getting Funko Pops, unfortunately, but they made some cool Nickelodeon Pops recently, and they made Rocket Power. So I had to get Rocket Power.
Dude,
they made Otto and his sister, and they haven't done any other ones. But I'm sure Funko being Funko, they'll make the rest of the squad. But they did Jimmy Neutron. They did a new updated Wild Thornberries, so I pre-ordered those. That all came at the same. Like, that all went up for pre-order at the same time, so I ordered all of them.
I forget how young you guys are sometimes.
Yeah. We're not that young.
How old are you,
old.
Marco?
I'll be 37 this year, so I'm
You're not that much older, bro. Like 5 years.
What was your show when you were younger?
Power Rangers, Pokemon.
That counts?
It's the same stuff. We're still in the Venn diagram. You started when I was kind of phasing out of stuff. My sisters were watching that. You guys were still in it, so just a few years off.
You hate to see it, man. So yeah, I got those, and then I got this 3-0 Mark 46. It's cool. I think I'm getting bored with the 3-0 stuff though, because they come in and I put them on my desk and they kind of sit there, and they just sit there, and I don't mess with them at all. So I think I'm gonna stop buying these. I don't know. They're just not like. I don't know what it is. It's cool. It's like a mini Hot Toy. It's just, I don't know. I'm not feeling it anymore. So, yeah.
Wow, dibs on this. You have quite a few of these, right?
I've owned like 5 or 6 of them. Currently, I only have this one and the Iron Patriot. But I got the Iron Patriot Hot Toy now. I don't know if I'll get the 46 Hot Toy, but yeah, they're okay. I think it's because I have like minimal display space that it's like I'd rather just have the Hot Toys on display, and then these just kind of, I don't know, they're just there. So
yeah. In the car, maybe like Zach does it, or in his luggage.
Wow.
Okay, you fucking guy.
He's catching strays.
I'm out of here, guys. Fuck you.
Finally.
Finally, how dare you? Jordan, did you get anything new this week?
Yes, actually, it's sort of last week, but this is one of the funniest books and coolest books I've ever read. I was basically raised by The Simpsons. I got a single mom, and I spent every other week with my dad, and we were a pretty dysfunctional family. So this was watching The Simpsons growing up was super relatable, and also that's what a family kind of looks like. But amazing. I've always loved The Simpsons. That's why I got myself a Kang and Kodos by Super 7. But awesome. I went ahead and bought a physical copy. I listened to this audiobook 2 times. It's written by Mike Reiss, who actually has been a writer on The Simpsons since it began. And it's just, the whole thing is like Simpsons hilariousness and amazing behind-the-scenes stories and how they wrote certain episodes and stuff like you'd never think that got them to the jokes that we all love. It's a great book. So I bought a physical copy of it.
Wow. Does it say anything about the time travel?
The time travel.
They pushed everything, bro.
There's a conspiracy theory that the lead guy is a time traveler.
No, but I have that book that does talk about that. That's another book that's on my nightstand right now.
Wow. I don't know.
That's actually written by a YouTube channel called Simpsons Theory, that book.
Oh.
Ooh,
yeah.
That makes sense.
Very cool. Let's see what Marco got this week.
Yeah, again, I'm still on a boycott of sending pictures of the actual figure and poses because I'm just trying not to get roasted here. So
Marco
I got this
won't send pictures of anything like on the show sheet or nothing. He just sends links.
Yeah, I'm just a complete boycott of pictures.
A lot of stuff gets missed. A lot of stuff gets
you know
missed,
what?
Boys.
Y'all are lucky that I'm up at 3 a.m, even adding shit anyways. I was MVP of the show sheet. Maybe I missed some pictures, but I added a lot of shit.
Do you feel lucky?
Some pictures? Some as in like the past year? Sure.
I will say Marco is invaluable to getting the content in there initially. But time out. We need to have a on air live meeting.
This is very fascinating for most people.
Look, I love shorthand. Okay, I don't need a whole paragraph information about one line item on the show sheet. I love it. However, there can be times where the shorthand is too short, and I think we're at that point lately with the junk drawer. It'll be like 2 words: Cinema Fest. And I'm going through the show sheet like, what the fuck is Cinema Fest? But it's not even related to the topic. It's like some trailer, but someone talked about it at Cinema Fest. We gotta be a little bit more specific on the show.
No, hold on.
Like just a tiny bit.
Yeah. No, CinemaCon, they announced like a bunch
CinemaCon.
of movies and showed like previews and stuff. So,
But the last few weeks
that's
I've been
what
looking at it like, what the fuck do these two words mean? And I'm
'cause he
like
was looking
going
at
through
Cinema
and going
Fest.
through. Yeah, I
Yeah, he was looking at
he
Cinema
couldn't
Fest.
I was like
find
a
it.
Cinema Skin. I was at the wrong
He's like,
website.
yeah,
Oh
so
my
it's-
I swear to God, Zach, if you make Marco quit, it's all over. This guy, he's trying hard at 3 in the
Oh,
morning.
man.
Give him some
This
love.
is like
We had our,
this
we
is
had our
like
best
when
show
my
last time he was gone.
this is like when my boss called me in one time, like this was like 5 jobs ago, and he's like, "Hey, you've been coming in 10 minutes late. Like this can't stand." And I was like, "Bro, like 6 people have quit. I'm doing everyone's work. If you want me to fucking quit too, I'm out of here." So it feels like that. So don't push me. Don't push me. But anyways, I got
Just so you know,
So I got-
Zach will just let you leave. So
That's right. Yeah, that's right. There's always another.
We won't
there's
miss a
always
beat,
another. Yeah, there's always another Mexican ready to take your place.
Jesus
Got it.
Christ.
I vote
or
Cuervo.
Canadian,
I vote Cuervo.
apparently. There's a lot of them.
Or Canadian, you just cycle through. Oilers is like, why did I come on this silly
Next week,
show?
is
It's his
collectively
interview.
starring-
It's his interview.
starring
Mason Zero's
Batfish.
Workshop has the link. She was born in El Salvador. She'll laugh.
Oh, there we go. So Vince Carter, Enter Bay. I didn't know this one was coming, so I actually used a different email, which I never do, to purchase this one. I think because it was my first time buying directly from them. Yeah, so I didn't even see any like blogger photos. I didn't see an announcement from Interbay that it released. The box just came to my house. I told Gigi, I was like, "Hey, is this for you?" And she was like, "No, this is for you." And I opened this. I was like, "Holy cow! I didn't even know this shit was out." But beautiful figure, sculpted by Yixi, and he's kind of doing like it's like a dunk face. Like he's almost doing like a woo type of face. So yeah, so it comes with the Nets jersey and the OG Raptors jersey. So really cool piece, still up on Big Bad Toy Store if anyone's looking for one. And yeah, very happy to add it, and I'll add some pictures of the actual figure once I get them posed up.
Sorry, can you explain the email thing? I don't understand.
Yeah, I think because I had never purchased from Interbay before, I was like, oh, I'm going to use a separate email just to be a little bit more safe. I don't know what I was doing. And yeah, so I just
You're not
didn't get a
Jason
notification.
Bourne.
Yeah,
I think Interbay's gonna hustle you down.
I thought it was, yeah.
Jesus
I thought it was
Christ.
that important, but it shipped out and was at my door within like 2 or 3 days. So like before I even checked that email, it was already at my doorstep.
So you know,
yeah,
this resonates with me, Marco. This figure.
Oh, it's a Canadian
because,
boy.
Wow.
Well, so there are a few things, right? Yeah, Toronto back in the day. There was this dude in public school who always got all the girls that I liked. His name was Derek. And Derek was a tall, skinny dude who loved Vince Carter. Absolutely, like, was his favorite basketball player. And whenever he'd like play basketball in the morning in front of all the girls, he'd pretend to be Vince Carter. And now every time I think about Vince Carter, I think of Derek. However, I'm excited for this figure because it looks badass. So I just wanted to share that I've been jealous in my life. Yes, it's my
Shout out to Derek. Hopefully he's hopefully he peaked him.
I hope he's watching here somehow. But no, fuck, this is cool. This is a cool figure, man. I'm excited for that. Make sure you definitely take some pictures.
I absolutely will. I want to try to replicate the between the legs dunk pose.
I used to play basketball with a guy who was the Australian League 3-time MVP, and Dean doesn't think that's a big deal. But yeah, he's like the GOAT in Australia right now.
Wow.
Shout out to Bryce Cotton, baby.
Oh,
you
Bryce
played
Cotton,
with
no
him,
way.
or you washed his cup?
Wait, do you really know? Wait, time out. Do you know who Bryce
Yeah.
Cotton is?
I've got his jersey.
You fucking liar.
No, I don't. I'm not familiar.
I was like, you fucking guy.
Send me a link.
Okay, you're out of here, bud. So I had an interesting new this week. Shout out to my very good friend Stephen Percha, who, unlike my good friend Dean, was nice enough to go to a Target and find me one of these. But it's the McFarlane Batman first appearance. It's a fucking fantastic figure. Honestly, shockingly good cape. Like, might actually be better than any Hot Toys Batman cape. It is stupid good. It has
Is it
pleats
actual
in it.
cloth?
It's cloth and it's wired.
Oh.
It's stupid good. Todd sold his soul to make this fucking cape.
McFarlane is killing it, dude.
Bro, I'm telling you, Daddy
It's
Todd.
staying at that $25 price point, bro.
Yeah, dude. Anyways, so got that thanks to my good friend Stephen Percha. And I had a good experience with Amazon this week. I got bamboozled last week, and this week. So about 4 months ago, when Gigi graduated as a lawyer, I was making her a simple gift, this nice little puzzle, and with my 3D printer, brand new 3D printer, and the print failed and like blew up the printer. And
that was the end of the printer, huh? GG's print.
Yeah, no, but look, I replaced the hot end, I replaced the nozzle, I replaced the motherboard, I replaced the screen. I basically replaced every electrical component of this fucking printer, and it still wasn't working. And so I have been emailing the company every time I tried a new part. They kept giving me this bullshit answers. And I was like, fuck these guys. So I called Amazon. I was like, look, I bought this printer. It's not working. This company says there's a 1-year warranty. They're selling it on Amazon, but they're not fucking honoring their 1-year warranty. And I've already bought like so many parts from y'all from the official like part store, and it's still not fucking working. So they're like, you know what? Fuck this company. And so they're like, we'll take it back. We'll take the money from the seller and refund you. And I was able to buy the newer version of that printer for the same price, and it got delivered yesterday. So very exciting.
How would you go back to the same people that are fucking you?
Oh, because this time I bought a 3-year warranty with Amazon. So if anything breaks, Amazon is the people that get you a new one. So
this is why I make things by hand.
Yeah, I can't do that.
There you go.
We're not all that talented. We're not all that talented, my friend. But,
watch my channel.
We're not all that talented, my friend. Well, no, because I do some finishing, but this is to be honest, the plastic prints are mostly for fun things that I make for myself. My kid wants like a whistle that's in the shape of a dragon. Boom,
that's
3D
cool.
print, all kinds of things. So, so this is cool. Got a new 3D printer. So Zach's Wonderland is officially back in business. Going to be sending out some goblin flying stands to Bendito and Riley and a few other people. And then we also have someone had a Hot Toys Celtic Predator. I guess there's a little clip on the back that's very fragile and it broke, but somehow the guy has the file that someone scanned of the original part. So we're going to be making those for Zach's Wonderland. So stay tuned for that. And then new this week, I finished my garage. We finished it today. This is a photo the day before we finished. So it's not 100% done here,
bro.
but I think we're going to be adding the air conditioning here in the next few weeks. I think we actually just bought the AC today. And yeah, it came out really good. I have a part 3 video of the studio build coming this Saturday. I've already done the voiceover for it. So yeah, everything came out really good. The floor coating was shocked that it worked, but we did it, and you guys can see how we did it in that video. So
did you paint the back side of that garage door?
No, it's actually a curtain. It's like a what do they call those, Dean? The daylight curtains, or like where it blocks all the light.
Thick, yeah.
Blackout curtains.
Yeah, blackout curtains. Yeah. Yeah, because the garage door was.
Do it.
I did it. I can't believe it. I fucking did it.
I might not go to Target for you, but I believe in you, and I think that should count for something.
It does, just not a lot. But I did it. I fucking did it.
Fuck you.
I fucking did it. I couldn't believe it. I felt like that one bowling guy that's like, "Who do you think you are? I am." That's how I felt when I fucking walked in it that night, and it was nice and like perfectly smooth. That's exactly how I fucking felt. So, and to be honest, like I moved my computer in there today, and I was getting like 400. I guess the other motherboard just sucked because I was getting like 400 megabits down. So I'm like thinking, do I even need to spend the $500 to run internet? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's nice, and it's a little warm in there because there's no air conditioning. But like I said, we bought the AC today. Got some furniture in there. My 3D map helped out a lot, and yeah, so that'll be some of the moving stuff won't be in part 3, but there'll always be part 4, maybe part 5. So stay tuned for that.
Bro, congrats on this. Really quick sidebar. I know we got to get into figure talk, but for the AC, is it just one unit? I know it's like a mini split, but it just goes into the wall, yeah?
Well, it's not like a wall. It's not like a window unit. I've seen some people, like some houses where they cut a hole in the wall for a window unit. This one's called like a ductless mini split. So there's an internal unit, and then on the ground, or like a little bit above the ground, there's a small compressor.
You need the compressor still. Okay, that was my question.
Yeah, so we don't have any of that installed. We have the outlet and the power outside the 120 volt, but that'll be And I think like the guy that's gonna install it's my dad's friend. He got it for really cheap. I think he's gonna install it for really cheap. So I'm super stoked to finally have it done. But it was nice because there's pieces in my collection that haven't seen the light of day in like 3 years. One of which is my 1-to-1 scale Chronicle exclusive Baby Blue. Opened her today, and I was very scared. I thought she was gonna be destroyed. But yeah, we have some people. Chuck and his nephew are gonna come on Friday to help me move some stuff, and then Abraham is going to help me Saturday. It's crazy because actually Dean hasn't even offered to help at all. So my good friend Dean. Charlie says so. The car sits outside now.
Right.
I'll be honest, like. Dean, maybe this is a Texas thing, but I feel like not a lot of people use their garages for, like the average person, almost like everyone that I know doesn't use their garage for cars.
Yeah.
I knew some people that were like pretty wealthy where they had like, like a 5-6 car garage that they put, really expensive cars in, but like the average person, I don't think that's like a thing in Texas.
Yeah.
There was a good amount of street parking at your place too, buddy. So I mean,
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, because we have a driveway, so I park in the driveway. But we had never parked in here at all. It was always like a bunch of shit in there. So now it's clean. The floor is finished. The walls are finished. Everything came out so good. And I cannot wait to show you guys the video and to move all my stuff. And I already got just a few things and it already feels like home. So
you can get at least another 32 Gandalfs in there. Just saying.
Oh, easy.
That's right.
Easy,
at least
baby.
another 32.
Easy. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. At any rate, there's another photo there of the other side. So, yeah, it came out really good. But let's see here. We have Get It or Not. As we go through the show tonight, we will talk about whether we're getting it or not. And we're starting with the blogger photos of the She-Hulk Daredevil. I'll be honest, I don't like the suit colors. Obviously, that's not a Hot Toys thing, but, not really the figure for me. We got Mara in the chat. What's up, buddy? But Dean, She-Hulk Daredevil, is this a figure that you're picking up or no?
Absolutely not. I'm not a big Daredevil guy anyway, but yeah, I don't like the color scheme. I know it's actually kind of a classic color scheme, so a lot of people do like it. But have you seen pictures of this thing in hands? That head sculpt is rough, dude. It's not good. When you take the glasses off, it's like, who is that supposed to be? Like, it's pretty bad.
That's sad.
Yeah, this figure missed the mark.
Yeah, so this is one that I'm definitely getting. I think it came out exactly as it was advertised. If you didn't already like the colorway, this isn't going to change your mind. If you didn't already like the head sculpt, I think it looks pretty much like the prototype, at least with the glasses on. So I think it's one where they could have phoned it in and not given you that extra head sculpt. But because it does have that sculpt, whether you like it or not, I feel like that added enough value where I could justify having the Netflix version and then adding this version. And I'm sure when they have Born Again, they're going to have another version, right? But I like Charlie Cox a lot. So, I think it turned out, again, just as well as the prototype. And I think it'll be interesting for those that liked the colorway. I keep thinking that I'm getting points up here, but I'm getting duped.
Yeah, who's not? Whose phone's not on mute? Jesus.
But you got to count those. Those are three. Those are 3 points. Those are 3 points for me. You got to count those.
The new phone.
And
who does?
That's right.
I'm surprised Dean gets this many texts.
There you go.
Honestly,
I know, right? No wonder he doesn't.
I'm gonna give you one of those
Target.
for being interrupted by Dean's.
How many friends do you have asking you to go to Target?
It's kind of the joke now. It's the sign of the dark time.
Oh, one too many.
Wow.
Yeah, one is one too many for Dean.
That's right. But yeah, didn't enjoy this show. But anyways, yeah, nice enough figure if you like the colorway.
Me? Sorry.
Yeah, do it.
I gravitate towards things that are novel. Like I talked about this in my last unboxing video. I like things that stand out as different. I do like this because of that. It's novel in that you're probably never going to see this color scheme ever again in a 6 scale. I get why people don't like it, and the show didn't do it any favors. If I had a lot of extra money like I used to, I would probably get it just because it would look different on my wall of crazy stuff behind me. But I have no desire to get it now and at this point, and I understand why people probably aren't gravitating towards it, whether the sculpt's good or not.
I hate the show, and this figure sucks. So Ben, take it away.
It's
Holy
almost
cow.
as if it's
Wow.
like a whole nothing burger for Eddie. It's so crazy. That's so crazy. You know, for me, okay, I was surprised by the hate for this figure, to be honest, like at its release, because I agree with you, Marco. To me, it really does feel like it was pretty much what was advertised. I do think it's a little more muted in color than it was shown, at least from those initial photos. But again, we're comparing photos that have Photoshop and stuff and different lighting, so that can be a little bit tricky to tell. I think where they shot themselves in the foot, and I don't even think it's a Hot Toys problem, but you nailed it, is that with the Born Again series coming, and they've already shown us what that costume is likely going to look like, or at least one of his versions, we're all anticipating that we're going to get that one, and likely like that show more than at least She-Hulk. So it's given us all, including myself, kind of that reason to be like, I could skip it. But when I did wake up in the morning and looked at this bad boy on Facebook while I'm texting my mom, I'm saying, like, I thought it still looked pretty good. And when people were like, no, it looks like shit, I was like, oh, maybe I'm not looking close enough.
I'm with you, Ben. I'm like, where's this outrage coming from? Like, it's just so inoffensive.
I think, like, it's not nearly as bad as like that Batman, the bat fleck that looked like the stuntman under the cowl. I don't think it's perfect to Charlie Cox, but I don't think it's that bad. And honestly, I know what you're saying with regards to the sculpt without the glasses, Dean, but since he's a blind guy, if I was going to show that sculpt, I'd probably have the glasses on him anyways, whether I put it on like a lawyer outfit with his stick or not. I don't think I'd show him. I don't think I'd show him without his glasses on. So I think if he looks that good with the glasses on, it's still a pass for me. If it was this or that, or get it or not, for me, it's a not, only because I am actually waiting for the red suited version from Born Again. I did cancel my pre-order on this guy after recognizing that one was likely coming. But I wish they'd given us like a 2-pack with She-Hulk. Because honestly, if this had been more of like an exclusive release 2-packed with a She-Hulk, I think that could have made this more exciting to have in the collection. And those two would be the only ones to pair together anyways, because that's the only ones we're going to get from the show.
Much worse.
So maybe,
much worse.
maybe not. I don't know. You think it would be worse? Fair enough. I would have been more
Then you have
interested to get
She-Hulk.
but I kind of wanted the She-Hulk. I thought she was cool. Even though I didn't like the show.
On pop culture.
Wow.
Yeah, I could.
Ben's going 200 words a minute, bro. I love it.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the energy, bro.
They give him.
That was a good.
They give him a lip quiver. What kind of fucking emotional face sculpt is this?
Hey. Oh, I forgot. The one last thing that he should have come with, though, from this show is
trash can.
bare feet. Because when he does the walk of shame, he's not wearing his boots.
God.
He should have got bare feet. Walk of
Agreed,
shame,
Ben.
Daredevil.
Incredible.
Wow.
Incredible.
He smashed She-Hulk. That's awesome. Give
Ben's
the guy
got
some
that
credit.
sativa today.
He didn't smash anything. He walked.
Don't you worry about it.
Wow. There we go. Spirited take, Ben. I love it. I love the energy. We have the Hot Toys Lord StarKiller, $270, releasing April to September 2025. This one comes in at $270. And I will be honest, it's been a long time since I've played this video game. And I think, Marco, you pointed this out, but I don't quite... Like, when I think of StarKiller, this isn't the outfit that I think of.
This is the version we want.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm... So what is... This is a DLC? I saw a meme. This is a DLC outfit?
I guess it's from the Sith DLC.
Oh, God.
So at the end of the game, they give you two choices. Either join the Emperor or fight the Emperor.
Sure.
If you fight the Emperor, he fucking maims you and turns you into... Oh, no, if you fight the Emperor, he kills you. But if you join the Emperor, I don't know, some shit happens and you like end up looking like this. But that was just like an end credit scene. And then later on, they came out with a DLC with this. And you kill Luke Skywalker. You kill Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Spoilers.
Like, yeah. Okay, the game's fucking 20 years old. That's on you.
You can still... That's still a spoiler, though. That doesn't... We got to get off that. That's got to be a spoiler still. That's not common vernaculum.
America won
It's
World
legends.
War II. Spoiler.
Yeah, that's different though. Everyone knows that.
shit.
This isn't common knowledge.
Dean
it's
knows
common
that.
law.
Should be.
Bro, if you're interested in this figure, I feel like you should know that.
I'll give you that.
If you're like Lord StarKiller, yeah, you should know that.
At any rate,
And you should also know it's not Lord StarKiller, it's Sith Stalker.
At any rate, I'm
with you, Dean.
I have concerns about the longevity of this figure. I feel like unless these little claws, which are just goofy, are made of really rubbery plastic, that's going to be a problem. And I feel like Hot Toys hasn't perfected this pleather suit with Vader. There's constant flaking issues. And this seems like
How
a
do I
character
give you a point? How do I give you a point for that? That was a good one.
Yeah, here we go. You hit
You
the
have a
correct
lot of
button on the bottom.
points.
Well, I have all the
Just
points.
leave your,
I'm
just
the
take your
point
phone
giver.
off mute.
Yeah, wow, Jesus Christ. And
Sorry,
so,
I
you
told
know,
your
I
mom
have-
to stop texting me.
Holy
wow,
shit.
wow. Anyways, Dean, since you're just a chatty Cathy, what is your take?
Wait, what the
talking all
fuck?
over my fucking. Your
I
phone's
said
going
you
off.
deserve a point.
Yeah, well, press the point button.
Well, I don't have it.
Jesus Christ. Jesus,
No,
Joseph.
if
and
you want
Mary.
to keep talking.
No, I'm done. I'm done talking.
Okay.
Done with
Yeah,
this
this
show.
is this is cool. I like this a lot. I don't know if I like it enough to get it. Like, you know, if I want a StarKiller, I'm with you too. I want the Galen Merrick face. The what's his name? What the actor?
Sam
Witwer.
There you go.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sam Witwicky.
I was gonna say Whitaker, and I was like, that ain't it. That's a different Star Wars guy.
Forrest.
That's Forrest Whitaker, bro.
Yeah. But Zach, you're 100% right. That pleather suit, I saw it and I was like, oh, that's Vader all over again. So that's tough, but it's definitely badass. People have been asking for something like this for a long time. So kudos to Hot Toys for doing it. Especially for a Legends character, right? Like, honestly, if you had asked me 2 weeks ago if I thought they were going to do this, I would have said no fucking way. So, kudos to them for doing that. I'm tempted, but as of right now, I have not ordered it.
Yeah, so someone once told me Forrest Whitaker's eye is so lazy it's collecting unemployment. That just came to mind. But,
my god,
that seems.
It was very,
that
very funny.
seems,
To me.
you
Yeah,
could
it's
say that,
questionable.
actually.
But yeah,
Near-
probably
near the
something you
mark
shouldn't
for
repeat
sure.
on air.
You've
That's
come
right.
here to roast me.
Incredible. But so you know, I'm obviously a big proponent of video game characters, and like I'm always like, oh, we got to get this one and that one, and this definitely would have been on the list of characters that I want. But then I feel like, okay, but not like this, not this version. All that being said, I still think it's a really cool figure, but not enough yet for me to say definitively like it's a get, unlike another character that we'll talk about in just a second. But I think it's a cool enough design, but there's some aspects that are a bit goofy, and it's just like, do I maybe hold off for a different version? Will that ever even come? So yeah, I'm very conflicted on this one. I just need a little bit more data or data, whichever way.
Not like this.
Exactly.
Definitely data. The weird thing for me on this one is
Wow,
when
that's crazy as fuck. You're way down there. That's insane, dude. What the-
Switch it up,
Ben.
Eddie. Okay, I'm trying to switch
Wow.
it up. That's fine.
That's
no,
okay.
that's fine.
Ben,
You probably have
let it-
more.
I probably have more of a
interesting
nothing.
take than I do. You have more
Ben,
of
don't let him
interesting
bring
take.
you down, bro. He bringing the energy. Go ahead.
What the
Go
hell?
ahead and say it, bro.
Eddie, I love you, bro.
That
You know,
was
we're living in a
incredible.
society. No, I'm just
I was told to switch it up.
go ahead. You go ahead. I'm just playing.
I think the weird thing about this one is we saw this kind of teased in those pictures leading up to this week, right? And everybody was like, "Oh, we gotta get a StarKiller. We have to get a StarKiller." And now that all these Star Wars announcements came out, like I can see a lot of people out there already saying, "Yeah, I probably don't actually need this one, or it's not the version of the character that I want, or any of the things." But like we've all been yelling at the moon, like we want this StarKiller, and this is the one that was teased. So it's not a surprise that they gave us this version, but I 1000% agree with you that I would have loved him having his head sculpt and the actor likeness, because not only is he a badass actor, but he's also great for this part. And I loved these games back in the day. One actually more than two. But in the DLC, he was referred to as Lord StarKiller from that actual DLC segment. So technically that was correct, at least for this release. Get it or not, though?
Oh.
I wanted StarKiller, but I did think they'd give us a head sculpt of the actor if we got it. So it did diminish my excitement for it, but I do think it's a badass outfit. I just think that the average person who walks into a collection room isn't going to know who the hell this is, and so that I think is a downfall for this figure if you can't switch it up a little bit in terms of the looks. What about you, Eddie?
So if it would have come with the head sculpt, you would have gotten it though, Ben.
I would have been way more interested in it for sure. Yeah, I would have gotten it. I probably would have waited still. I don't know. I wouldn't have done like a day one pre-order, but it would have definitely been more interesting.
I think I would have already pre-ordered if it had that sculpt. So yeah, that was kind of a fumble on their part, but this is definitely the path of least resistance. What do you think, Eddie?
I think he looks cool, and just looking him up real quick, like the fact that he was Darth Vader's apprentice is cool, but other than that, I don't know the character. I didn't play the game, so it's a pass for me, but I think there's a lot of StarKiller fans, so out of all of that, like, dark side teasing stuff, I think this was one of the coolest announcements because most of it was stuff we'd already seen. So I think that's cool. I didn't realize he wasn't the version that everybody wanted, but I still think it's cool.
This is the greatest thing that's ever happened in the history of action figures.
Wow. It's a high praise.
Oh, Oilers, you're on mute. You're on mute.
No. Yeah, your mic isn't working.
Oh no, we lost him.
No, we can't hear you, bro.
Still nothing.
Bold statement that
this is the greatest figure ever.
He teased us so.
What is happening? What's happening? Did your mic get unplugged? Is this a bit?
Turn it off and turn it back on again.
He's gonna call in.
It's the dark timeline.
This is the dark timeline. This is the second sign.
This reminds me of that Rogers television commercial.
Yes,
there he is. I don't know what that was about. Sorry, I didn't press anything. So, okay, there's 3 figures I've always wanted Hot Toys to make, but I thought they would never ever make. I want a super hyper accurate Link from Ocarina of Time in the green tunic with alternate swap out blue and red tunics.
Hell yes, dude.
The hover boots and every accessory. I want a die-cast Samus Aran from Metroid Prime, fully articulate, with gravity suit swap outs, and I wanted a Sith Stalker StarKiller armor. When they announced this, I turned into a 5-year-old kid. I was freaking out. And
let's go, baby.
I love this. This is the comic adaptation of The Force Unleashed. Those games, when I was like, I forgot about Star Wars, and I started playing those games, I was like, whoa, I didn't know Star Wars could be this fun and this cool. This is the DLC from the Hoth battle that you get, but the actual Sith Stalker armor, he doesn't have like the cheek pieces. He's only got a pauldron on one side. The rib cage comes up higher, and his arm is like blown out.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's the helmet's a little bit more gold, but it's pretty much the same. It's like more refined and finished rather than ravaged looking. I'm all about this. This is literally one of my dream figures ever since I bought my first Hot Toy. I was like, if they ever make anything I'd ever want, I hope they make this. And they did. So I am super happy about this.
If they ever make the Link, you need to film yourself like running around the living room. Like, that'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I will.
That'd be awesome.
There we go.
Ben, you're a weird guy.
Hey, don't worry about it, okay? It's been a good day. It's sunny outside. You love to see it.
I was going to say, Ben's on a different level, and I love it.
Wow. Sam says Dina's getting all these texts from friends he is going to help. What a guy. What? Oh, that's funny stuff. Let's see here. We got Abe Dunks TV with a super chat. Love y'all. Always making my week. Hell yeah. Equan says, play this on PS2. I didn't think that DLC back then. Let's see here. Wow, I scrolled way up. I didn't realize I scrolled that much.
I feel like this was at least Xbox 360, PS3. I don't think this was PS2, Equan.
I played it on Xbox One.
He had an early copy.
Nice.
Equan says, not my StarKiller. And Vixie says, this being an Easter egg in Andor piques my interest a bit. Let's see here. And I was kind of bummed, Jordan, that your audio dropped out there for a second, because I know when this went up right away, you messaged me to come on tonight. So felt kind of bad that happened.
I wanted to talk about this, but I didn't know, and I was the only one who was going to want it.
Hey, man, that's why we have different panelists,
and I may have sounded down on it, but I haven't closed the book on getting this. I just have a very slow process sometimes of evaluating things, but it's still definitely in my mind. So I wouldn't be shocked if I pressed the PO button.
For me, there's a lot of overlapping things, not just Star Wars or the game, but as a kid, I always loved to draw guys in cool suits of armor, especially sci-fi armor. So any type of thing like when Boba Fett and Darth Vader, I first saw them, that was amazing. And then any other thing, whether it was Iron Man or even from stupid sci-fi B movies, if they had cool armor made from like household items and painted chrome, I was all about it. So I love any kind of cool space armor on anything, and this is like peak for me. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I used to draw dicks as a kid. It's not a big deal. Like 60% of kids do it.
You just sit around all day. It's 8% of dicks. It's 8% of kids.
Wow. 6% of kids draw 8% of the dicks.
Deuces and guys in armor.
Wow.
I just watched that movie last night, dude.
That movie's
what
legendary,
a great freaking movie.
Let's see. Now, it's important to note for this and Revan, there are three total SKUs. So there's the standard SKU, there is the special bonus edition for selected markets, which is what we get on Sideshow, and the Darkside event exclusive commemorative coin.
That's pretty cool, actually.
I will say I would much rather them do a goofy coin than hold back an accessory. So I don't love it, but I certainly don't hate it. So
or like a hologram.
Yeah, definitely.
Oilers, was this one that you had to get like a special edition because you love the character so much?
I have 000 interest in the coins.
Okay, all right, my man.
There we go. We also got Darth Revan, which is fucking pretty good. It's pretty good. 270. This is obviously the classic armor, I would say, for Darth Revan. When I think of Darth Revan, this is the figure that I would want. This one's pretty tempting. This one's also coming out in that April to September 2025 timeframe. And I absolutely love the paint applications on this. You got a nice little bit of pitting in the armor, nice little bit of dry brush and grime. This one does also have the same 3 SKUs. So you have the regular, the gold coin for selected markets, and the red coin for the Darkside event. With both of these figures, I think people were complaining there's no portraits, but for $270, I don't think it's terrible. You get a great character, you get those LED lightsabers, and I think this looks pretty good, to be honest.
It's no portrait because he's a custom character. Those are goobers. Revan has been a figure I've wanted in 6 scale since I knew 6 scale was a thing. One of the greatest moments in gaming history of all time. One of the most important video games I think made almost ever. This character is iconic as shit. This is definitely a day one pre-order, but I'll talk about it more tomorrow on After Dark, but I got fucking bamboozled by Sideshow. I ended up with fucking 3 of these things. So they have like a bunch of my money.
Wait, why would you not just talk about it today?
I mean, I can. I don't want to derail the show. But I went to pre-order it, and like there was like a survey on the order page. It was like, take the survey and earn $10 in rewards. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. I already have like $25, so another $10, cool. So I click the survey. It takes like a minute. And then it's like, thanks for taking the survey. And it went back to the purchase screen, but it just stayed on loading. And I was like, what the fuck? So I sat there for like 5 minutes and it was still loading. I was like, I'm just going to reset the page. So I reset the page and it was like blank. And I was like, okay. So I tried to reorder it again. And then remember the last time, Zach, when I tried to order and do my rewards and the order just like went through?
Yeah.
Because you have to hit like a specific button that I fucking missed. I did that again. And I was like, God damn it. I was like, you know what? It's like fucking 4 a.m. I'm just going to go to bed. I'll deal with this. I'll call them tomorrow. Because I want to add my rewards. So I checked my email and the first order had gone through. And then the second order went through like twice. So they had like 90 of my dollars. I was like, what the fuck? Damn. So I contacted Sideshow. And they were like, okay, just cancel them all and redo it. So I'm waiting till I get all that money back before I can pre-order this fucking thing.
It's going to sell out before you can do it.
I know.
Equan says the survey comes after you order the figure, Dean. I think you just put yourself in an order loop. They're like, damn, this guy really
It was
likes
right
Revan.
there. It was right there on the page. So I don't know. Like I said, it was the
They're like, he's got a John Wick, he's got a Revan. They know what you're doing, Dean. They know what you're doing. Dark timeline, bro.
I don't have a John Wick.
Boy.
I thought you did.
No, not anymore.
Damn.
But yeah, this figure's amazing, and or it's gonna be amazing. Even if this figure sucks, it's Revan in 6 scale. I don't care. I'm gonna love it. So yeah, get it.
On that though, like I feel like this is a perfect translation into a 6 scale figure. Like it's just the proportions, everything about it. Obviously, it's just a badass figure, so it's hard to mess up. But I think like the material kind of looks like the Boba Fett, like the robed Boba Fett. So it's gonna be super posable. Yeah, I'm over the moon with this one. This one was an easy get it. I will say I only have 3 Black Series figures. One's Cal Kestis, one's Revan, and then one is the StarKiller, the version I want. So it's like they're checking a lot of boxes now, but we still need that Cal Kestis. But yeah, this is the right direction, and I don't care about these coins at all. Cool to kind of add that instead of an exclusive accessory. I kind of prefer this route because then it gives you more options to buy from places that I would want to buy from. So.
Yeah, this is really cool. I did not play Knights of the Old Republic, so I didn't have that nostalgia for Revan, but I've read some stuff on Revan, and I really like the character, and I like the Mandalorian mask, so that's dope. And overall, he's just sick, so I had to order this one too. I don't care for the coin, but I ordered it to get the coin because I need the exclusive part of it, I guess. I don't know. I prefer the coin over a Dio base, Marco.
Really?
I definitely prefer the coin. Yes.
Over a Dio base.
Wow,
Yes.
over a Dio base. That's wild.
I'd take an accessory, like a cool accessory though, not like the Iron Man one where it's just like a metal helmet. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need shit like that. But
What about like a little mouse?
or a detonator?
What deep knows the way? I just want to go back to what Marco said. I was fumbling trying to get to that point button, but I think that is underrated. Where, if you don't need the coin, right, you can choose to buy this from.
Was there a price difference?
No, there was no price difference.
And if you didn't get the coin, what an idiot. Bro.
No, but you could buy from a place that gives you a better price.
That's true.
And,
you could.
Yeah.
So
you're not missing out on much.
I'm not missing out
very
on an
important.
exclusive
What Marco's
accessory.
saying, if it's the difference between getting a helmet or even a small Iron Man accessory, that's one thing. But a coin that he's not going to use, it's pretty smart.
What if I sell the coin to some sucker who likes coins?
Wow,
you could
do that. You could. It might be made of high quality cardboard, but it will be a coin.
Wow.
Let's see. Anyone else?
Yeah, I during that same time, sort of chunk of time where I played The Force Unleashed and wasn't really focused on Star Wars because I was just trying to live life. My first exposure to Revan was in the form of his first figure, which is the 3 3/4 figure. I was in Walmart and I walked up down the toy aisle like you do, and I'm like, "What is this guy?" And he had a red and a purple lightsaber, and I'm like, "Who is Revan? What?" I had no idea. I just bought it because I'm like, "This is cool looking." I just bought it, took it home, put it in a box, didn't think about it for years, and then after I heard about Knights of the Old Republic, but I didn't know Revan was part of it. I just knew it was a game that all my friends told me I should play, but I didn't play games at that time. And then I listened to a podcast. I don't remember the name of it, but it was right after The Force Awakens came out, and they had Drew Karpyshyn on, who is the guy who wrote these games. And they interviewed him, and they were like, "Hey, has Disney contacted you about helping them write Star Wars movies?" And he was like, "Nope." And I'm like, "Who is this guy?" So after hearing him interviewed, I went and got all of the Old Republic audiobooks, which are adaptations of the game in book form by the same writer, Drew Karpyshyn. And I could not stop listening to those books. I think I listened to all 3 books in like 2.5, 3 days. And I fell in love with Revan, Malgus, Satele Shan, Bastilla. I still never played Knights of the Old Republic, but I love Revan from the book, and I love his design, and I am super excited about this figure.
That's an interesting way to get into the property. Are you interested at all in playing, going back and playing?
I do want to. I just have no time for games. I don't have time for games. If I could find the time, I would. But like my game time is playing Turtles in Time on SNES with Mrs. Zillow's Workshop every other couple of weeks for a couple hours. And that's about the time I have for games. So, yeah.
Can I just say, Revan sounds like a Star Wars name?
Totally.
Like, I was like, yeah, Revan. That totally sounds like a Star Wars name. That's hilarious.
I can see it.
So, just going back to this year, Safel says, not sure if you mentioned it, but StarKiller only comes with one USB saber despite having 2 lightsabers. And I did check, and Revan on the product description does have 2 LED light up sabers. So
you better.
Definitely something to consider if you're ordering one or both of those characters.
Definitely. This was the day one pre-order for me. This was, I loved Knights of the Old Republic. It was one of my favorite games, one of my favorite Star Wars games of all time. And I think, like Marco nailed it. Like, this is such a good figure, like torn right off the screen, that for me, I was like, you have to have it. The purple and the red lightsaber, like, I think that those look amazing together. And I'm glad that Hot Toys caught that detail, because that still requires some level of attention to the character itself. So yeah, I'm very, very hyped about this one. And I did get the version, got the version coming with the coin, because my grandma collected coins for me her like whole life, or my whole life. And when she had passed away, she like gifted me that coin collection. So I've got some like amazing coins from around the world and old currency and everything from like wartime and all this stuff. So this would be something that I would also take out of the box and put in with the coin collection as well. So something very cool. I really like this figure.
That's pretty cool, Ben.
There we go. Let's see here. We have BT1 from the Dr. Aphra line of comics. And I will be honest, I think it's cool that we're getting these characters. I would say to put them in like the Darkside event is kind of silly. I mean, it's been a while, and I don't claim to be like a Dr. Aphra expert. Are these Darkside droids, Teen? Or are they just
she
really
works for the Empire?
Well, no,
they're torture droids. They torture people for Vader.
Hang on. Working for the Empire and the Darkside are two different things.
Yeah,
they're not like Sith, right? They're not Sith droids, is what I'm saying.
How would they be Sith?
There's
droids?
only
Sith is
one
more of a
Force-sensitive droid in the whole
There is a
galaxy.
Force-sensitive droid. What I'm saying is to
Skippy the droid.
So,
we all know
hang
the
on.
story, right?
The larger point that I'm making here is they have a Stormtrooper, Chrome Cody, and which is it? 000 as the headliners for the Darkside event exclusive figures.
000 is like one of the most evil droids ever. He's fucking psychopath.
Being evil isn't being on the dark side, though, right?
I
Maybe
feel
I
like
just don't understand
conceptually
Star
it's-
Wars, but dark side is like the dark side of the Force, not being evil. Every evil person in Star Wars isn't a dark side person.
Well,
am I wrong here? I feel like I'm not wrong
No,
here.
I think
I feel like
if you finished Andor, you would know.
Splitting hairs, though.
Is it though?
Yeah, because the
I
Empire
don't-
works for the dark side.
Commander
so.
Cody?
That's true.
Well,
It does work for the Emperor.
Commander Cody's definitely not
Commander
dark side.
Cody was just a lame.
And Stormtroopers are just
release.
dudes. There's dudes that sign up for a job, bro. Yeah, but having rockets
They still
and
got
laser
blown
gun-
up.
Time out. Having rockets and laser guns doesn't make you dark side, though. At any rate, also a point I want to make. It's weird that we don't have Dr. Aphra. Very weird, and I don't like it. I do not like it.
That would involve effort.
I feel like
Zach.
if they're coming out with these, she's coming.
Well,
don't count on it, Dean.
Don't count on it. We're still waiting on Cal
You're
Kestis.
not wrong, but
They made that little BT droid, little chicken leg little droid.
No, they even gave us
That
a
was for
trooper from
Mando.
Jedi Survivor, and that's all we
No
got.
Cal
Just
Kestis,
that one,
yeah.
just that one trooper. So
Thank
fucking
you.
odd.
Tremble Dust knows. These aren't even dark side people. Commander Cody's just a fucking clone that had a little microchip in his head. I'm giving myself a point for that. It's so quiet. Why do you get so quiet?
We were
You guys
waiting
have
for
to
your
discuss
point.
with me. No, that was my point. No, that was my point. I gave
this is
myself
cool.
8 points.
I have this guy. Oh, yeah, you could give. Yeah, that's whatever.
I think you're lagging a bit.
Yeah, this guy's cool. I have him, but both. Am I? Okay, someone else could go while I clear this up.
So for me, this is a kind of that perfect example of one of those Hot Toys that you look at and you're like, damn, that is cool. And I kind of want it. But I also recognize within my own self as a collector that the cool stuff that I don't have necessarily like an actual nostalgic connection to are usually the things that I'll move out of the collection first if I ever want to replace that space section in the collection. So while I do think this is cool, this is a not for me, because again, I think it's cool objectively, but I don't have that personal connection to this specifically. So I'd have to choose to skip on it for something else, a different character at this point. But I like it. Looks cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I have no real knowledge of this character, Dr. Aphra, the other C-3PO that we're going to see, or whatever, the protocol droid that we're going to see here in a second. But I have kind of an issue with how these were rolled out, because they most definitely should have been a 2-pack, and they most definitely should have either both been exclusive or both been full runs. But then to chop them up together, like to have it separate, is just really odd in my book. And they're both just repaints. So, okay, say what you will, because if it's a repaint that you don't want, you're like, well, why are they giving us another one? And if it's a repaint that you're interested in, then now it becomes cool. So this is all kind of a hypocritical take at the end of the day. But to me, this both of these are kind of big snoozers, but the way that they've chosen to roll them out is just extra odd. And again, Dean, do not count on them giving us like the Dr. Aphra character, because I just can see them not doing it, because these are easy repaints and that one involves a lot more effort.
I would normally agree with you,
2
except
points, Marco.
They don't have shit in terms of content to make figures off of. They're going to have to dig deep in a well somewhere.
Are you kidding me?
And the fact that we're seeing these guys...
Just wait until you see the depths of repaints they can get into.
They're going to make a Dr. Aphra Darth Vader before they make a fucking Dr. Aphra, bro.
True, yeah.
You're probably not wrong.
I mean, he does show up in the comic books, but I still feel like I'm vindicated here. I think being a bad person at Star Wars doesn't make you the dark side. That's all I'm saying.
Are we still on that? That's crazy.
Yeah, because you were lagging, so I wanted to make sure I could just give it to you straight.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I have both. I have both Triple O and BT in both 3.75 inch and fat.
Oh, you have the 3-pack from Chris Porteous.
Yeah.
Fucking jealous, bro. Fucking jealous.
Dude, he had like 8 of them. You should have asked for one.
I didn't know I could ask for one.
I didn't ask for one. He just offered it, but
he didn't offer it to me, Chris.
Yeah, they're cool characters. I like her storyline, Dr. Aphra. I'm not a huge fan of I like the droids enough to have them in my collection. Not in 6 scale though. That's a lot of cheddar for characters I just kind of like. So, I would spend the money on Aphra. I like her a lot. Yeah, these are cool to see. It is kind of goobery to make one an exclusive and the other one not. I think that's a bunch of horse shit.
Yeah, it's low.
But I mean, he's a really easy figure to make again, right? It's just C-3PO with Edward Scissorhands. So probably like a different color scheme, like a black chrome version, which would arguably be cooler.
And they did kind of give us a discount on this one, right? Like it's reduced from the last C-3PO, or the last 2.
Yeah, sorry for pricing. This one is 000's 285. This one comes out sooner, May to September 2024. And BT, I don't know if I mentioned, it was 220 October 24 to March 25.
So at least they baked in a discount if it's a repaint. Sorry, Dean, go for it.
It's honestly crazy because he comes with a lot of stuff that you're getting him cheaper.
He really does.
And
like,
diecast.
Yeah, and diecast. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, it's again, I don't like these guys enough to. If they're both general release, I would be more likely to get them. But the fact that one's an exclusive and has a hunted down, I'm just like, no, I'll skip them. I'll skip them both. But I do like them generally.
Just for the briefest of moments, to go back again to Revan and StarKiller, Batfish pointed out that these are now limited. I don't believe they were limited earlier in the day when I checked, but the exclusive versions of both of these are now limited to 12 hours, or 12 days, 13 hours, and 20 minutes for both.
You better hold on to all 3,
edition,
Dean.
Yeah, the collector's edition seems to be not limited for both. Sorry about that. Anyone want to take a crack at these two before we move on?
I'm super excited about this, even though I didn't know it was limited until I logged in to go buy it, and it was like, nope, it's gone. was like, oh.
Oh, no.
I had no idea. I didn't even read it. I was like, oh, cool. And I just waited till, I don't know how long I waited, like 5 or 6 hours after I saw it. And I was like, all right, let me log in and do that. This is one I'd get in keeping with what I said earlier about I like novel things that are sort of different but also cool. Sometimes that doesn't always work out, but this one is that to me. Like, it's C-3PO, but evil C-3PO if he was like possessed by the dark side. So that's how I feel like it fits the theme. I understand the reasoning though that it kind of doesn't, but I feel like it fits to me just because of that. I remember when I read his first few lines in the comic, I was like, whoa, this is intense. Because he was like excited to hurt somebody. I'm like, that's kind of frightening to have this robot that has no conscience willing to just do whatever Vader asks and go beyond. So just the sort of creepy factor of it is cool to me, but I had no idea it was limited. So I missed out on it.
Did Vader build 000?
Jesus Christ. I don't think so. Again,
Well,
I'm not a
'cause
Dr.
he
Aphra
built
expert.
C-3PO, so
Yeah.
that's what
I believe these droids were always a part of Dr. Aphra's group, right, Dean? Again, I've read a few of her comics. I'm not like the Aphra expert.
Yeah,
but
I don't remember or if they discuss how she got them, but
I just sold this comic to somebody last week. Otherwise, I'd open it and read it.
damn, that's crazy. It's an expensive comic.
But yeah, I sold it. I think I sold it. It was the second printing too with the red background.
I don't think Vader built them. She's more like an agent of Darth Vader. Like she's
like
kind of like
not really a bounty hunter, but she does do bounty stuff. Like go find, like she captures Hera for Vader. But 000 ends up like making her his like fucking slave woman. It's crazy. He like goes all fucking mental.
Jesus.
He's like, oh, take out my inhibitor chip and I could do this. And she's like, okay. And then he like goes fucking mental. 000 is fucking crazy.
Played yourself, bro.
These are cool releases, and to go back to what I said earlier, they weren't part of the initial tease where they showed like Kylo Ren and Sidious and all those guys. So these were like surprise drops. So they're also cool to go along with StarKiller and Revan. They're not. I'm not into them because I didn't read that comic. I think they're cool figures, but I don't need them. But I think it's cool that people have them now.
You know? I didn't notice the dent on the forehead before, actually, surprisingly, just until literally just now. So is that part of the story for this character, or?
Oh shit! It's Danny Lee.
Wow.
Is it dented, or is it just the paint apps? Like it looks dented, but
wow.
Dented. It's just the way it's reflecting.
Just shining. Okay. Yeah, I can see it better in this picture today. That's fair.
Tamara says
Danny has a dent in his head. Is that where?
You didn't know that story?
No.
You know that story?
The Philo
story? Danny was so excited to get off the plane at Oxcon, he got conked in the noggin by this lady's luggage, and he had a big old fucking thing on his head. So that's
Danny
why
couldn't catch a break at Oxcon, huh?
Jesus.
Dented a car.
No, this is the one before.
This is the one before. He couldn't catch a break there either.
Wow.
So.
Poor Danny.
Jesus Christ.
He couldn't catch a break, and then he couldn't hit a break.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, that was a good one. That was amazing.
My guy's doing great now, though. Shout out, Danny.
Wow.
I love that guy. I love Danny. I'm sorry.
This is too inside baseball.
Oh god, that is fucked up, dude. Danny, I love seeing Danny happy, and it warms my heart. But I need to go off screen for a second.
But did anyone attempt to get this figure either on the panel or in the chat, minus Oilers, and miss out on it, or everyone was just like, okay, I'm not going to get it?
Holy shit! I did not even try.
No, but shout out to all the folks who reached out to me to let me know that this was a timed release this time, because last time I missed it and I complained that I had no friends in the 6-scale world, clearly, and then
Are you not
a bunch
on
of
Patreon
people
chat?
told me this time. So
We're talking about it the whole time.
I work for a
We're too
living,
busy.
guys. I can't be watching all that Patreon stuff all the time.
But there's other chats you can watch. What the hell,
Yes.
man? Throwing us under the bus.
Yeah. Ben will be like, man, it's been a week. I haven't caught up on anything. So anyways, my show coming up. Shout out to
Wow. Anyways, the Let's Get Nuts chat.
Shout out to Mario, who was all over this. Definitely was providing some information on when these were going to drop. So yeah, it was kind of quick that they were announced yesterday, and then or were they announced this morning and then dropped today? How did that sequencing work?
Yesterday.
Yesterday,
Or even
okay.
the day before. I don't remember.
But it was all
like
it
last
was all
night they
pretty
announced.
quick. So now you got to just be like, the moment that is either teased or announced, you got to be Johnny on the spot.
I'm
Ready
dying.
for it.
Not even the joke. I'm just dying. Let's see here. We also have a reissue of the Return of the Jedi Stormtrooper. This is a reissue of the deluxe with the Death Star environment. I still prefer the A New Hope Stormtrooper, if I'm being honest, but I think that one's, well, I wouldn't say never, but I feel like that one's not ever getting released again. And yeah, this one's really cool. It does come with that light up LED background, though I do not believe that they updated it to USB. I believe this is a straight reissue. One interesting thing, though, is the price on this one was $240, releasing June to September 24. The original price was $243, so they've given us a $3 discount, which, take it where you can get. Not too bad. But Dean, are you going to pick up any of these Return of the Jedi Deluxe Stormtroopers?
Negative. I have 2 A New Hope ones, and I feel like if I needed to add more Stormtroopers, I would want them to match the New Hope ones. So, but this just seems like a weird reissue. Am I the only one that thinks it's weird? Like, why?
They're
Especially,
announcing a lot of.
Yeah, why? Like the Return of the Jedi one. Like, why that one? Like, why not the A New Hope one? Or I don't know. Are they very
40th
different in
anniversary?
Empire?
That's right.
I guess it just seems weird.
I have the original one just up above me here. I have him standing with the Shadow Trooper, and I love this figure. To be honest, it's so good. There's nothing I would recommend even they changed on it. Like if they did just give us a straight reissue on this, it's a great figure to pick up. Price point was excellent, and the light up background is badass. So
Ben, what's the weathering look like on this one? Because I've seen photos of people that reviewed the one from a few years ago, and it was more weathered than these photos would indicate. Would you say
the weathering, from what I can see from these photos, looks exactly the same?
Okay,
to be
so you
honest,
do think
even
it's a
just
reissue?
even just around like the knee pad, like joints and stuff like that. The one, I guess the one complaint I would have had was the boots on the figure. It looks like the sand has imprinted into the boot itself. Like it looks like it's dimpled the material of the actual like boot, which is weird. But it's meant to look like just sand sitting on top. That was, I think, the only thing that was like, oh, that looks weird. And his shoes look dirtier than the rest of the figure. So we'll see. But otherwise,
These are pretty cool. I think I want 2 of these to go with Vader, just to have some stormtroopers behind Vader. I haven't pre-ordered them yet, but I'm going to, and hopefully they don't go waitlist anytime soon, because there's been a lot of pre-orders lately and I just want to wait. But yeah, it's cool.
I have my Return of the Jedi Leia right here, but she's in the 2001 Space Odyssey executive replicas
nice
spacesuit.
That's awesome.
Kind of rocks.
That's why I did it. I got the suit and it doesn't come with a figure, but I'm like, who would look cool in this? And I'm like, Leia would look cool in this. She looked like one of those like good girl comic covers from Planet Comics or something.
Hell
so
yeah.
I put her in here. I was thinking is like, do I have an excuse to get one for Leia? But not really. I love these, and I actually have a picture of me when I was 8 wearing a screen used one of those helmets from Return of the Jedi. So I'm like, that'd be kind of cool to recreate that memory, but I can't really find any other reason to get this, but they're cool for people who want them.
I feel like these are the types of figures that like Sideshow should just have in stock all the time. Keep them at a pretty low price point. You should be able to just army build these pretty much anytime you want. They're awesome. They're worth the money. And they look good in any Star Wars display, whether you have one figure or 50. So yeah, keep these in stock. Don't time them out on us.
Makes sense.
Yeah, good point, Ben. Yeah. This I actually love, though, because I have a few troopers. I've got the Remnant Trooper. I've got the Commander, which someone mentioned that I just took the pauldron off of. But a proper Stormtrooper like this, I'm kind of debating getting 2 of these, which I normally wouldn't do with figures unless it was a Joker, a Batman, or Superman, I guess. But I think this one, because of the background itself. I do have the Han Solo in disguise, and it comes with the same background, right? And so I'm thinking if I have 2, now I've got like a full-on display there that could look great. But I don't think this is USB powered. which is kind of an L, but there's other ways around powering this stuff up. So yeah, I think this is just like just a very simple, out of all the here you go, out of all the releases that have been announced recently, beyond Revan, I think this is probably the one that I think is the best one. It's just simple, but it gets the job done. So yeah, maybe looking to add two, but that's even at a cheaper price, it's still a lot of money. So something that I'm not doing lightly.
How were the old ones powered? I've never had one of those actual backgrounds. My figure didn't come with this background. Was it batteries or was it?
I think
Usually
it's batteries.
Like double or triple A's, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's nice is you can.
I think I'd
you
like
can,
that actually.
I know I've never owned this one in particular, but like with the Emperor's throne or the Return of the God damn it, the Empire Strikes Back Vader base, you could hook them up to essentially what's called a dummy battery. You just plug it into your smart device, and it's basically you could power it 24/7.
There you go. I'm gonna have to do that for the tumbler that I'm about to get, so I'll be a little bit more up on that tech.
AAA batteries, yeah. Let's see here. We have Chrome Commander Cody, which is a mouthful. This one went through the the whole queue thing and came out the other side, not sold out. He's $260, and he is releasing June to September 2024. Dean, what do you think about Chrome Commander Cody?
This seems like a swing and a miss. If you're gonna reissue Cody, just do the Bad Batch version. You already got all the other Bad Batch figures out there. Why did it have to be chrome? Just make it black and put a Bad Batch logo on it. I feel like that would have done much better. But I don't hate it because the chrome clone troopers all look really cool. Like, this objectively looks like a cool figure. But when you're dropping a bunch of bangers like they are currently, and it's between 000, BT1, StarKiller, Revan, and Cody, I'm not picking up a Cody. Like, it's 270, which is like, is it 260 or 270?
It is 260.
Which is like okay, I guess, but you're not getting a head sculpt, so I feel like this should be more like 230. Like, yeah, you're getting two helmets, but like, you make a ton of these clone troopers. Like, it can't be that expensive to. Well, I don't know. The chrome is probably really hard. I'll give him some slack there, but 260 just seems kind of high. But yeah, this is a big swing and a miss.
I assume the answer is yes, but I mean they have to have fixed the elbows, right? Like, there's no way they release this with the same body as the old Cody, right?
I mean, no way. You would think. I'm with you.
Was it Vaughn that was kind of a semi repaint of Cody?
Yeah.
And I don't think there were issues with that one, right? So I think maybe they've avoided that problem.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a point for that.
Good catch. Good catch. For me, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Objectively, very cool. I do wonder if there's any Hot Toys collectors out there that exclusively collect just chromed out figures, because that could be a cool looking display just in itself. But I agree, this feels like the least sexy of all the other announcements from this week, and I think a lot of us still are in that budgeting mindset where it's like, do we really need it, or is it just cool and do we want it? And I think this would be much more of a want for people than a need for their collections. So at least that's for me. That's how I feel. This is a pass, unfortunately, on this guy, but it does cool. It does look cool. I'll give it that.
I think this is lame and a money grab. And shit. So
that was literally the last three figures we've talked about.
No, I said the other ones were cool, and that it's cool that people could have these now. This one, I think, is lame. I don't think that this needed to be in the lineup at all. So like Zach was having that whole argument of like, is it Darkside or whatever? Like, this isn't Darkside. What is this?
Thank you, Eddie. You know what, Eddie?
This is trash.
Saying all the right words right now.
So yeah, and the other one, didn't the other Chrome Stormtrooper sit?
It sat for a very long time.
So like, why? What feedback? What market feedback are they going on with?
They just said make it limited. It was all that they took from it.
It's trash.
That's got to be a gut punch for Hot Toys, though. They make it limited and it survives the initial pre-order period. I want to say this is the first of these drops and I could be wrong, but I think this is the first of the limited drops that hasn't sold out where they've had a queue like this, right?
I think so. I don't remember any others.
And someone in the chat said they just checked and he's still up for pre-order. So, very interesting. Very interesting.
That's
and Mario,
really interesting.
I may have misspoken. It may have been the shoulder on that. My apologies. Sorry, Oilers.
So that's super interesting because that gives you a definitive number on like actual interest to gauge for something like this. So you have a real number to go by instead of guessing what the numbers in production could be on other figures. I think that's interesting to save in the back of your mind for later considerations about possible runs and availability. You know how many this is and what the demand was pretty much right away. I think that's interesting. I have my Chrome clone right here, and just looking at him again for the first time in a long time. I saw this when I first got him. I actually had I pretty much no paint defects on mine. I was lucky, but I can tell on all of the armor plating except for the feet, the belt, then the backpack, and a couple of parts on the helmet. The clear coat that they put on it wasn't evenly put on. It's probably hard to see on camera, but it almost looks like hard water stains that are very, very subtle across the entire figure. That is an uneven coat of finish aging on, and it's visible because there's so much light being bounced around on this. So I am okay with it because I like patinaed metal, but I can see how other collectors might have a serious issue with that, and I wonder if this might have that same thing going on. Just an observation I just made sitting here looking at this, but I think the Commander Cody is a weird choice to do this with. But if you're a clone collector and you need all the versions of clones, then hey, there you go.
Yeah, so I've got that same Chrome Clone Trooper. Yeah, and I actually really like that one. I've got the Cody head on him, funny enough. And I think overall, like, it came out very nice. Now, was it as chrome as the initial pictures? Maybe not, but I think that it was at least worth revisiting. I've definitely thought about adding that chrome Stormtrooper as well, because I like chrome stuff. But in terms of a limited, I think they definitely overshot it. They probably should have done like 1,000, but I think they kind of got greedy doing 2 exclusives in a day. And they probably are taking the feedback, like you were saying, Oilers, and being like, okay, well, now we kind of have a number of, we might have pushed the limit of what the market can sustain with these repaints. So I think it's an interesting one for me. Definitely not one that I chased, but I think it's at least like a nice looking figure. So everyone that's like upset that they're doing this, I don't know. It's pretty typical Hot Toys. I don't think it's anything that's like so different from what they normally do. Just interesting that it's still sitting.
There you go. Clinton, have a good rest of your workday. Mario says, would a Chrome ARC Trooper have sold faster? I would say it might have sold faster in the sense that, Dean, there's probably hundreds or thousands of ARC Troopers in the Grand Army of the Republic. I guess you could say, well, maybe one of them is Chrome out there. But to take a known character like Cody and say, for no reason, let's just make his armor Chrome when there already exists a repaint version people really want, just kind of seems kind of a bit of a slap in the face. So I would say
there's
maybe...
I was also going to say there's also not enough ARC Trooper figures out there, so that would 100% people would buy that.
There we go. Ryan Dean says, was watching the stream on TV, but had to jump in the chat to say, yes, Ben, I am that one person out there that collects Chrome Troopers, so I was stoked on this one to round out my 2 Chrome clones. Very good.
That comment was for you, good sir.
Wow. How much did Ben pay you? Just kidding. Let's see here. We have this is the Darkside banner there by Hot Toys. Again, my big complaint is I really don't feel like any of these are really Darkside characters, but at any rate, perhaps I'm wrong on the 000 there. Hot Toys made an interesting announcement on their official page, and this has kind of trickled down through Sideshow and other of our peers due to unforeseen market alteration, we have been involuntarily to cancel the following projects: the TMS 122 What If Sakarian Iron Man collectible figure, and then the MMS 723 and 724 The Flash Young Barry collectible figure, and the deluxe version. Hot Toys has reacted to rapid market changes, and our team is highly disappointed to this unusual situation of project cancellation, yet it does happen within our production schedule. Once again, thank you to the support along the way, and sorry to cause any inconvenience. I would say that this is huge. Hot Toys, as far as I know, has never canceled a project once it has gone into the sort of pre-order phase, in the sense where they start taking money. For them to cancel the Young Barry, which is an ensemble cast figure, obviously, I believe there is still a version of the Flash you can still buy from that film, but you're not able to really complete the full shelf for that film, I think is a bit upsetting. Obviously, people are getting their money back and such, so there's not really a financial loss there. The Sakaar and Iron Man, it was quite expensive, and it was a very niche what-if episode. Didn't necessarily think it would sell well, but these are... I think this kind of shakes things up now, because I think going forward, Marco, I know you're always in the crowd where, hey, I'm going to try to get it on a bargain bin. And I know certainly more people in the community have been in that aspect where let's wait for a sale if it's possible. And I see things like this, and I wonder if this is, a reaction to more people waiting and not enough people putting their money into a pre-order. But at any rate, we do have 2 cancellations for the first time. And, I gotta say, I don't love this move by Hot Toys. I think someone mentioned earlier, but market research, I think, is very important, and I don't know if this could have been avoided, but I know at the time that this Barry came up, what is the actor's name? God,
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller, thank you. Obviously, had already been embroiled in a lot of controversy personally, and we thought it was kind of a weird move that they were giving us this figure and sort of doubling down on that. Don't know if that had anything to do with it, but it is just, Doc makes a great point. Like, I want my Kang, don't cancel Kang. You have to wonder with Jonathan Majors being sentenced just recently, if that's a figure that's going to be canceled, and looking at all of the pre-orders that Hot Toys has, you have to wonder, like, what potentially could be next, or is this a one-time thing? I can't imagine this is a one-time thing, but... well, let me go to Eddie first, because Eddie, I know you do a lot of these statues, and for you, like, a cancellation's kind of just another week in the statue collecting biz. So this might not be that surprising to you, but for us, it's a pretty big deal. But how does cancellations in statue collectors, is it usually a big deal when things get canceled, or is it just kind of like, oh, shit happens and you kind of move on?
I think people still get upset. Because it's usually something that somebody was very excited for. But it does happen a lot more. Like recently, LBS just canceled their whole Marvel line. And they had announced like 3 or 4, like they did a Wolverine, a Venom. Like they had a Spider-Man coming out that people were really excited for in 3rd scale. That is completely done now. And Prime 1 does it all the time. Prime 1 usually bases it off of sales, which I think these 2 were done. I don't think Kang has an issue of being canceled, because I think this was more based off of pre-order amounts. And I think, especially with that Iron Man, like I wouldn't be surprised if like hardly anybody pre-ordered that Iron Man. Barry is a little more shocking, because I still think a lot of people liked that movie. And like
a lot of people like this figure.
Yeah, so that one's a little more surprising, but I could still see it being a low pre-order, because it's, it's not the best DC movie, and it's not like, and it was the end of the whole DC era for for that character anyway. So I could see it not being a pre-order thing. So that, to me, the way they worded it was like saying they just didn't have enough pre-orders for it, but also. This feels very like people who worded this don't speak English as their first language, because I was
You're
like,
not wrong.
Okay, I was like, involuntary to cancel?
Yeah,
you chose to cancel it. What does involuntary mean?
English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Yes!
Yeah. So I think we could see this a lot going forward. It could be interesting, especially when it comes to like bargain bin bros and people who wait for deals. Like, yeah, is this something that we're going to see a lot more of? We have seen a lot more of statue collecting things implemented in the 1/6 scale community now. So, yeah, we'll see, I guess.
Thank you, Eddie.
Yeah,
Dean, I guess I just want to chime in as someone that did pre-order this figure, that enjoyed this film for as, uneven as it was, as goofy as it was. Even this design, like Oilers was saying, he likes things that are novel. the fact that it's a Batman suit, that the Flash created it as a Flash suit, I love that. Like, that's so interesting to me. It looked goofy in the movie. It looks goofy as a toy, but something about it just like really resonates with me. So I was excited for this one. Like, I thought like they gave you lots of options for the head sculpts, and like there's just, I thought it was going to be a really, really interesting and cool figure. And so to see that it's canceled, like, it's disappointing to me for sure. And you know what this reminds me of, and these might be like two completely different things, but when when Sideshow raised the prices $5, and everyone was like, well, you know, it's not really like a big deal, but it's kind of one of those things where you want to keep an eye on it because it's $5 today, but it could just be across the board $10 tomorrow. And as you guys were saying, like, it feels like this is the first of a few other figures that may get canceled because they've got too much on their plate. They've announced way too much stuff. They're never going to catch up. So at a certain point, you're just assuming they're going to start trimming things. And I think people have been speculating for a long time, but we had no precedent for this happening. And now we do. Now we got two. And to Eddie's point, like the Flash is pretty surprising because there's definitely plenty of people that were interested in this. Maybe the pre-orders were soft, but it's still, you know, a well-known character. It's attached to Batman property as well. So yeah, it's just something to keep an eye on that makes me very nervous as a collector of kind of the odd stuff like the Punisher War Machine and things like that. So we'll see what happens moving forward.
Yeah, like, I've been collecting since at least 2010, and I couldn't remember a time where I'd seen a cancellation either. So it is unprecedented in the 6 scale community side. I think it's crazy though, because, you know, like you said, Marco, you're one of those people who are disappointed. But it's impossible to keep an entire community of folks happy either way. And if the numbers weren't there, Hot Toys, Sideshow, all the little brick and mortar stores, they're all businesses where it costs money to put stock on a shelf. If it sits there, it costs even more, right? Dead stock costs businesses tons of money. Warehouses that have to like hold these boxes costs a lot of money. And so the return on investment has to be there. I'm shocked that we actually haven't seen this before. I could think of lots of figures that I'm almost surprised weren't canceled because of such like a bad kind of initial gut check from collectors and panels and all of the things in the past. When I think even about like that Spider-Man 2099 suit in terms of keeping a community happy, it felt like a global outcry that people were so upset that that figure had joints. But then when it was changed, I had so many comments in my this or that video to be like, no, I actually wanted the joints, and like I hate the new rubber overlay and stuff. It's like, it's going to be hard to keep everybody happy, so it's going to come down to dollars and cents at the end of the day. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see this happen more and more, especially with the volume of releases and announcements and orders that Hot Toys needs to keep up with just in general, to keep, you know, stay ahead in the competition realm, but also you know, in terms of quality, putting it out there. So it's hard.
Yeah, Zach, I was going to ask this, but you mentioned it, that this is the first time Hot Toys, I think, ever, or at least
as
when I saw this,
I know.
Yeah,
I mean, this is like a big deal announcement.
When you posted it, I was like, no way. I mean, we've been doing this show, you know, 315 episodes, so 315 weeks. I don't know how long that is, but a long time. And I was like, I don't think I've ever seen Hot Toys cancel anything before. And I was like, maybe I'm crazy. They have to have. I'll ask Zach on the show. He'll know.
Yeah.
And
I don't think that they have.
Yeah, and I can't think of a time. Honestly,
I mean, there's been plenty of times they've shown figures, but not solicited them. I just want to be very clear about that. That happens all the time. That's not, you know, I'm losing sleep over that. But like when I woke up this morning and I saw Big Bread had posted it, I was like, let me double check. I mean, he's pretty reliable, but I was like, let's be cautious about this before we run it on the show. And sure enough, people were getting Sideshow emails as well. So, yeah, it was like, wow, holy shit.
Now,
and on that point though, sorry, go ahead, Dean, and then I'll chime back in.
Oh, I was just gonna say, as far as the Iron Man, I mean, who really gives a shit? I don't think anyone's crying over this. But the Barry Allen, it's kind of a big deal for them to cancel that figure. You already have the line with figures in it. Yeah, he's arguably the most important character in that movie. And it's just crazy to me that they canceled this one. I was like, what? Yeah, this is wild. I wonder why they were forced to. Maybe it's like you said, maybe it's like all of the controversy, but then it's like, well, why are the other figures getting?
Why not cancel the other ones? Yeah.
Right. So it's like that can't be why it was forced. I don't know. It's super wild to me.
In terms of money flow on the chain, right? If you pre-ordered from Sideshow, you're probably fine. But if you pre-ordered from somewhere else, they might tell you like, oh, actually, I've got to wait until I get my money back from Sideshow or from wherever I bought it from before I can make you whole, or whatever number of things may happen. So it's kind of like you're going through a chain that's only normally supposed to go one way. So to then try to get your money back. Yeah, now it's going to be it's just so messy. It's just creates a whole bunch of problems that I'm not looking forward to dealing with. So hopefully it'll be smooth, but definitely will make me very cautious of paying in full, of, pre-ordering things that I'm on the fence about. So it's going to be an interesting process to see how it plays out.
Yeah, especially ensemble cast movies like this. I mean, this is a movie you could dedicate, several shelves to have the full collection. So,
well, like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, we still haven't got, I think, Drax or Mantis yet, right? I think they teased them, but they haven't shown them yet. So, like, will those fall off the list before they get announced? Hard to say.
Yeah.
And I don't think Oilers is gone yet.
Sorry, I was trying to get. I breathed almond dust.
Oh my God.
Anyways, I agree with most of what everybody said about this figure in both ways. But this is kind of like, it is like if you take like a full piece of a pie of like interest in a figure, and then you say, okay, we've cast Ezra Miller. That takes a few people out. And then, okay, it's in this niche movie that doesn't fit into a bigger picture anymore. You take that piece of the pie out. Say it's the second version. You take that piece of the pie out. You say it's the younger version that was more annoying. You take that piece of the pie out. Ezra Miller did a bunch of weird things in public. Take that piece of the pie out. I think it shrinks the market that people think is there for it, and like the people who are going to commit to it. And I feel like that's probably evident. And I feel the same way about the Sicarian Iron Man. It's a cartoon. It's a smaller Iron Man figure. It's not metal. It looks kind of like a toy. It's just kind of I think the pie got shrunk into such a small slice that maybe Hot Toys was like, it didn't work out like we thought. I think that's what's going on here.
Mm-hmm. It's got to be a kick in the butt for Hot Toys too. I feel like Iron Man is their bread and butter historically, and though this is a niche figure, I've seen many niche Iron Man figures just get gobbled up. So I guess there certainly now is a line in the sand where we can look back and say, okay, this isn't out of the question that things can get canceled. So be curious to see if this happens again, if this is going to change our fellow collectors' pre-order habits. I don't think this is really going to change mine, but yeah, we'll definitely have to wait and see how this develops further. Let's see, we're running a bit long tonight. So real quick, we have the Gone Fishing by Hot Toys. So we got the Sicarian Iron Man and Barry. They're on a boat and they're gone fishing. They're out on the water.
Amazing.
But let's see here. We have an update from InArt Collectibles. Get ready for our new YouTube channel, which doesn't make a lot of sense because they already have a YouTube channel that's InArt Official, but apparently they have a new one now. I don't really know why. Their old channel didn't garner a tremendous amount of subscribers. I don't know that they were really that active with it, but they have a new channel. So if you want to get those updates, you can do so at youtube.com/inartofficial. And yeah, I guess that's a thing that you can do. But I guess wish them all the luck with their new channel. But let's move on here. Mondo showed off a new Bane. This is a version that has a regular for 220 and a timed for 245. This ships September 2024. And if you want the timed edition, which is sort of that deluxe version, you have until 4/29 at 12 p.m. to order. I think this looks pretty good. The exclusive timed edition is the extra Bane mask, the unmasked portrait, and I think a really amazing accessory, the sort of hulked out Bane torso with that really nice expressive portrait. And yeah, 245, I feel like that's just kind of what Mondo comes in at. And I don't know. I wouldn't buy this, but I could see this being a thing that a lot of people do buy to complete their Mondo line, which is really, really fleshed out at this point. And I think probably one of their with He-Man, one of their more realized lines.
Mm-hmm. I'm 1,000% going to buy this. 1,000%. I cannot wait. I think this is exactly the right Bane. I'm glad it was from the animated series, not New Adventures. The exclusive option with a whole extra swappable torso where he's all pumped up. Fantastic. The joints do bother me on this one, but all of the Mondo figures have the joints. So I think if they're separate, like I'm going to have a whole display with my Batman, Joker. I've got the Mr. Freeze coming now, and I've got Catwoman coming. So I've already got 4 now coming. I haven't got the Mask of the Phantasm yet, but I think I missed on that one. So we'll see. But this is my favorite Bane representation next to Nightfall comics. And so, yeah, this was a must-have for this guy.
Is this the second time we're seeing this, or this is like the
First
actual release?
The actual
release.
We have a tease last
It was
week, I
teased.
think.
Okay.
Or a while back. But yeah.
Yeah. In the past.
I think this looks cool. I think this looks super cool. The extra swap out body to give you the, roided up version. But I've never had a Mondo figure, and I know Eddie was less than pleased with his, so I want to hear what he has to say about those.
It doesn't look like it'll pose well. But if I got the Logan into a subtle walking pose, and I kind of love it just being in that pose, staring at it, it looks really cool. So you're not going to be able to do crazy stuff with it, like even less than Hot Toys. Like, because even the hips, like they have that snap back thing where you push them up and they just kind of fall back into place. And so does the abs do that, like the ab crunch. So like the articulation is really bad on them. Well, at least the one that I've had, which makes me like skeptical of the Spider-Man, because that one I want to be very posable. This one, he could probably do most things that you're gonna get Bane to do, so that's fine. Like I'd probably just put him in this walking pose, and then like the only thing I really want it for is for the dumbbell, and so I just have him curling, which would be freaking amazing.
Totally.
And
And
then
then
3D print you a dumbbell, Eddie. Jesus.
yeah, well, I'm still waiting on my wheelchair, so
Well, you'll be waiting until you're in a wheelchair to get that.
Jesus. Actually, I would like some dumbbells 3D printed in 1/6 scale. That would be pretty sick.
You know, you can't eat dumbbells, right?
What?
That's from Avengers Infinity War.
I don't remember that line at all.
That's what Rocket tells Star-Lord. He's like, I'm gonna get a anyways.
I'm gonna get a Bowflex.
I thought you were gonna. There you go. He's like, you can't.
I remember that line. But
to quickly add before Oilers goes as well, I thought of it as well because above me I have the old DC Direct 7-inch line of Batman the Animated Series figures, and they did get really expensive over time. But now Todd McFarlane or McFarlane Toys is doing their own line of Batman the Animated Series and Batman New Adventures. So if you love these characters, but you don't necessarily want to invest in this scale or this amount of space in the collection, to be honest, the 7-inch line is beautiful looking, and McFarlane Toys is doing a really, really good job with their new line. We haven't seen a Bane yet, but we have seen the likes of even Two-Face and Gordon and a bunch of those guys. So if you want a Bane, I really do think we'll see this version come out through that line as well, just at that smaller scale point.
Nice, Ben. No, I feel bad. That just sounded mean-spirited. But this is opposite of Hot Toys, where the coins are perfect for the exclusive, right? Because you're not really missing that much. This, like, of course you'd want the seamless. This is, we've seen this a few times with Mondo. Like, they're giving exclusive accessories or exclusive pieces, super timed and super limited, and then it way degrades the standard version. And I get that they want to push the exclusivity, but it's like this should be really part of the standard. There's no reason why that should be locked behind an exclusive window, or if you miss out, then you're missing out on such a cool part of the figure. So this is just like Ben, this is one of my favorite versions of Bane. This might be my first Mondo figure because of that seamless part, but they're just so expensive for what you get. I'm not sure. So definitely keeping my eye on this release, but it's cool that they're giving this to us. And it could be a slippery slope, right? Because then I might want to go get the Batman and others. So it might be best to just completely avoid it, but I do love Bane.
Did you guys say, well, Marco's older than all of us, so he probably didn't. But did any of you guys watch Mucha Lucha growing up on WB?
I don't know.
That Bane mask where he's yelling looks just like a Mucho Lucha.
I think you may have unlocked a core memory for me, Eddie.
I don't think I've ever been on a podcast or a stream where I'm the oldest person, but thanks for that.
I said Marco.
I'm 38.
People feel better. Oh, Marco's 39.
Yeah.
40.
I said he's 37.
Oh.
We don't really remember.
We're in the same
says.
cohort.
I know.
Wow.
I just thought about it. I was like, wow, I'm usually the youngest. I hang out with a bunch of old guys, I guess.
You stream with Mario?
Jesus Christ! How dare you? How dare you?
This is really cool. I agree with everything Marco said about the Mondo exclusives. I'm like, some of the stuff they made exclusive, especially for the Rogue and the Harley, I was like super mad because I actually really wanted the Harley for everything she normally comes with. And there was one of the head sculpts, I think it was, I don't remember which one it was. There was one of the 3 exclusive head sculpts I really wanted, and it didn't come with it. And I don't want to pay like $600 for that one. And then the Rogue, I wanted the one where she's winking, and I think it's the winking one that she comes with exclusive. And it sold out in like 5 seconds as soon as it went up. So I was like, well, that's not happening. Rogue is like my favorite character, one of my favorite characters of all time, so I got it. But the Bane's cool, but definitely if anybody's trying to complete it, get in on that. Get in them right away and place that order.
So they're selling out that quickly now too, yeah?
The Rogue sold out in 8 minutes. The exclusive.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Because I logged in at, well, it probably less than that, but I logged in when my alarm went off. I pulled my truck over and logged in, and on the side of the road, and I was like, okay, cool, let me get in there. And I was 8 minutes and 10 seconds after, and it was sold out. So
keep in mind though that like with Mondo, so not to create FOMO as well. If this is a favorite character for you, like even though Mondo will sell out with these timed windows or limited release numbers, depending on which avenue they go, they often do reissues of these figures as well. Quite often, they will give you different exclusive accessories with each one though. So like Skeletor was a recent example of that, where people had the Skeletor, he was going for crazy money, and then they reissued it basically. They did adjust some of the knee joints and stuff, but just different accessories. So if you do miss it, don't necessarily pay $600 for a Bane. There's a good chance we'd see another one in a couple of years from now. Maybe not even that long. Even right now, we just saw those noir versions last week, I think, on the show, Zach, of Batman, Joker, and Mr. Freeze, right? So you can get your hands on these if you need at some point. Almost guaranteed.
Yes. I think I forgot to put something on the show sheet. Give me 1 second.
There might be a third party. Like, what if that third party one makes other characters?
S-Hero toys. Yeah, I can see it.
Keep it going for 1 second.
I can see it.
We also did have an update from... Oh, man, this is not good. We put a lot of pictures in that damn chat, didn't we?
Oh, wow.
That's why we only give... That's why we only give 2-word answers, just in case. So I don't want to bog it down.
No, but I think the problem is that there wasn't a picture of this one because they just put the link. But Ken has finished production from our friends over at Iconic Studio. Let me see if I can just find the post real quick.
I forgot about that. Like when you said that Ken update, I'm like, what is Ken? Barbie Ken? What? I totally forgot about that.
Here we go. So Ken is ready to fight. They are nearing the end of production on the 1/6 scale Ken Masters figure, with shipping to begin next month. For those who order directly, invoices for the mini bouts will be sent over the next week, and be sure your address is up to date. So very cool on that. And we want to remind everyone that you have a 15% off discount code with our friends over at Collector Zone. You can use the code CW and you get 15% off everything in stock and full pay, including Games Workshop stuff, Mythic Legions, Hot Toys, everything like that, statues, whatever, with the code CW. Dean, we have junk drawer today. Just one thing in the drawer, not a lot of junk today, but we have a trailer. We have the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer. Yeah. And do you guys want to watch it, or do you want to talk about it?
Yes, please.
Just watch it.
I like the way you said yes.
Oh boy.
You're not welcome anywhere. Now get the fuck out of my bar.
Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave.
This is a callback to the first movie.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now.
Not this.
X-Men First Class as well, right? Or no, Days of Future.
Not First Class. Days of Future.
Yeah.
So, upsy daisy. Here we go. Oh, whiskey dick of the claws. It's quite common in Wolverines over 40.
You don't want this.
Unless you want to take a deep breath through your fucking forehead, I suggest you reconsider.
So good.
suit, though.
I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about. Not my fucking problem. Is that what you said when your world went to shit? Come again.
This Wolverine let down his entire world.
Want to talk about what's haunting you, or should we wait for a third act flashback? Go fuck yourself.
Bruh.
I don't know anything about saving worlds.
Dude, he looks pretty good, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman, bro.
I'm no hero.
Insane that he's been able to keep this up this long.
Dude, for real.
Thor's gonna accuse him of copying his arms.
Damn, he's fucking yoked.
Soaking wet right now.
So at least two Hot Toys versions of Wolverine from this film, yeah. At least two.
I
Or
would buy every
detachable
from this movie.
They won't do that. They'll do two separate. Battle damaged and standard.
Except her. I don't want.
Wow. The Ant-Man skull is incredible too.
Look at Dogpool.
Who knows if you live or die? Let's fucking go.
Look at
So good.
Look at they got a. Who? That was a Doctor Strange thing, right?
Sling ring portal?
Yeah.
Maybe.
One thing that Feige said is off limits.
What about Bolivian marching powder?
They know all the slang terms. They have a list.
Even snowboarding?
Even disco dust.
White girl interrupter?
Even force bump.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes. I can't.
That's fucking awesome. Abe says this Hugh Jackman and Logan the I think I have a stroke reading that. Is Hugh Jackman and Logan the new MCU new Loki? I don't know what. Abe, I love you, but I fucking have no clue what
Language.
that means. I mean, I think this is the TVA, right? That's kind of.
It's like an alternate TVA. Their colors are different.
It might just be a different
Like
division too, right?
It could be because in this movie they're like red, but in the Loki show they're what, yellow?
I
or
think they
something?
changed that after the end, at the end of season 2, though, Dean, when Loki is now kind of in charge. They go back to the TVA and they look different there as well.
TV.
Oh, do they?
Oh, I love Abe. Abe's gonna help me move this weekend. Anyone else have a take
So
there on
the first trailer we saw, they walk up behind a bald dude, and I thought it was Xavier, but it's probably not. It's this girl, right?
That lady.
Chandra Nova.
Yeah.
This is like Xavier's sister.
His twin sister.
I have no idea who that character is at all. But I'm hoping we still see Xavier, but yeah. Who knows?
Abe
will
says,
say,
is
like,
Hugh Jackman, Logan, the MCU's new Loki. Could
don't
be,
get
I guess, because
how.
Loki. Well, because he's a TVA agent.
I hope not.
I think Deadpool's technically the agent, not.
Yeah, probably.
Not
Deadpool might be
Logan.
the new. Yeah. Dude, I'm so fucking stoked for this movie.
Well,
I think
the
Deadpool has a
trailer is
chance to be
perfect.
like the GOAT trilogy of the Marvel movies.
Ben's always telling me I'm not excited enough for things. I'm excited for this. I am very
yeah,
Hell
I
yeah,
know.
bro.
I know Eddie loves Wolverine. I know.
I'm very excited too.
yeah, dude.
I'm very excited.
If I could be a downer for 1 second though, like I like that it ties in
Been a
to
downer
Loki
the whole
a
year.
bit
Downer
more.
Club.
Wow, holy
Just
cow!
kidding. Go ahead, Mark.
I think the trailer was just about perfect. Like it was designed to make people like feel like, all right, he's not going to be neutered now that he's in the MCU. Like this is the Deadpool that you want, and it's not going to be just some watered down version. And then seeing Eliath, right, is the name of the big smoke monster. It was really cool. It's like, okay, so directly tying into the Void and to Loki. But then that's a little less interesting to me, like the whole Wasteland stuff. Like I hope we don't spend too much
I
time
agree.
there because that's just like a really bland palette. It's like I kind of want to explore different stuff that's a little bit more weird, but that's also my expectation, setting myself up for potential, a downfall, like a multiverse of madness. I think people's expectations were here, and it didn't necessarily deliver that, but
Well,
I enjoyed the film.
He has to shit in your Cheerios a little bit, right? Like he can't just give you exactly what you want. He's like, I gotta sprinkle a little bit of Disney new phase in here
Oh,
to
God.
keep people,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. So hopefully it's just, if it's the entire second act in the void, that's less interesting than hopping around and doing some really cool stuff, meeting a bunch of different variants. So hopefully it's a good balance of that stuff. But what do you guys think?
I mean,
Oh,
at least
that
at least
was,
3 F-bombs, right? At least 3 F-bombs in there.
Yeah.
Like you said, they're clearly they're the kitty gloves are off. They're gonna have some fun with this movie. I wonder if it'll tie in with like what was my favorite X-Men film, Days of Future Past. Previously, it does, like, if this is the Logan that let everybody down, you know, did he fail in that movie potentially in his own timeline? And this is now what we're gonna see, like. And it's an interesting concept to think of, like, what if Wolverine was the last man standing on Earth, or last mutant standing on Earth, depending. It looks like he's walking through some kind of graveyard there in that one scene. I also saw a bunch of first class villains. The guy that looks like a devil was in there right in front of the Ant-Man. Yeah, Azazel, and a bunch of other. If you go back to that scene and save it.
They were all there.
Code is in there, so it's gonna be jam packed with cameos. And this trailer got me more hyped than the first one. I'm even more excited, and I love Hugh Jackman. I'll go to anything that guy's in. So
well, there we go. We did have this one last figure. There you go, the Wolverine. We have a one last figure to show off here. It is by our buddy Tim Harvey from the beginning of the show, but it's the Phantom of the Opera. Lon Chaney as the 1/6 scale figure. Very cool there. This one is coming in at $2.99 for this version, and there's a second version we will pull up in just a second.
It doesn't look anything like Dick Cheney.
Wow.
That's the hunting accident.
This is his
version.
cousin.
Pretty close to me.
This one's $4.99, and you get the this piano here. So that's got to be a huge fucking piano. God damn. Yeah, 11 inches tall by 11 inches wide. Very cool. But yeah, this is by Caustic Plastic. They've made some pretty good stuff lately, and looks like they're continuing on with their monsters.
Damn, I think the piano's the more impressive part.
It's kind of fucking awesome, to be honest.
It's really cool. Or I guess it's an organ.
Could be.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Phantom of the Opera. But I know that figure looks good. Like, I mean, Caustic Plastic shit always looks really good, but it's also priced like it.
Minus their bounty killer Dean.
Yeah, but yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, they've had a lot of releases, and I feel like we never really hear any negative stuff about Caustic Plastic. So, I mean, if that's a figure you're really excited about, I'd say it's a safe bet, but you're paying for it.
Yeah. One last question before we wrap this show up, because we are running long. Alistar says, you think we're getting Hot Toys Yellow Suit movie Wolverine? I love the blue shoulder pads, but it's interesting with long sleeve, then no shoulder pads with sleeveless. I think the answer is yes. And Tim Harvey says this is their first figure, Caustic Plastics, with rolling eyes. Let's move on here. We got to wrap it up. We got another 5-star review from Victor K. Been watching Collecting Weekly on playback for around 2 years now, and they never fail to bring me a good laugh every episode. Though I don't really collect much these days, it's always good to listening into the show and hearing the guys chat about pop culture and collectibles. These guys know what they're talking about, never afraid to voice differing opinions. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to many more episodes to come. And he dropped this, so I shall drop this as well for Victor.
Listen again.
There we go. Appreciate the 5-star review, buddy. Love you.
That's a really
Dean,
nice review.
That is a really nice review. We have some Patreonies that we need to thank.
Yeah,
for
give
keeping
a
the doors open.
quick shout out to the homies. Look at that, top in the list. Captain Fordo, we salute you. Ian CV, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Valtorino, Ben Thomas, David Jones, Sam Giss, Daminator, Joao Bretta, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Skins, Biggs, Billy Badfish, Toy Cartel, Sweet, Denton Head and All, Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Pratt, Big Ol' Ferns, Caesar Mark, Mark Phelps, Lisa Martin Bomonsky, Rick DeGregorio. That's fucking the sound. Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Azucena, The Illustrious Rainer, Ali Morgan, 2 Cothry, Wah, Derek B, Aries Portillo, Alvin J, Sith Scale Collector, Arelis Delgado, Jazz Carroll, Joe Ridley, Pablo Meza, D-Rock, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC, 3PO, Scott Smith, Don McDonald, Stephen Percha, Sean Utesby, Scott Bradley, Steve and Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, Exodus, and Brenton Palmer. Oh my god.
Wow.
Wait, do that thing you did at the beginning. Oh, it scared the shit out of me. I was like, what the fuck was that?
We have the March and April Patreon benefits going out in a few weeks. We have the Oxdiver sticker and the junk drawer magnet. Stay tuned in the next week or so. We'll show you guys the May-June stuff that'll be going out. But Patreon starts at $5 for the digital tier. You get this Sweet Angel tier, which is stickers sent straight to your door and access to Ox After Dark Replay. The Certified Crispy $15 tier and the $25 What a Guy tier, which is the Pog Deluxe set and doubles of all the stickers we send and all the benefits of the previous tier. Speaking YouTube channel members.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of Sweet Angels, Alistair McCrae. What a sweet comment. Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Can you tell Zach's tired?
Tired of my
interrupted
shit,
me. I just interrupted you in the middle of my fucking. Could have done that at any point after I was.
He's always like that.
I was in a flow. Now I lost
He interrupts us all the time, but when we do it, it's a problem.
Tell me you have low blood sugar without telling me you have.
The interrupts, they go down, dude. They don't go up. You know what I'm saying? Absolute Whirlwind, Alvin J, Andrew Gibo, Benjamin Hansen, Big Ol' Fern, Bob Dylan, CC3PO, Chris V, CT603, DJ Daminator, Doc Smizzle, Equan, Fat Batman, Gare Bear, Good Old Spotch Cat, Gotham Cenobites, Justin Sports Cards, LV Avenger 702, Mark Pearson, Mike Litteris, Money Mendez, OG Fan, OMFG Rick, 1/6 Figure Focus, Paul Schreiber, Philip the Fool, S Beam, Sam Gist, Garnlord, SpongeBob SquareBalls, Sunnyvale Russ, The Ben Thomas Show, Toy Mafia, and Exodus. You become a YouTube channel member by clicking the link there, and you can join in. Membership starts at 99 cents for a Patreon member or $2.99 for the Peanut Gallery. You get loyalty badges and custom chat emojis and weekly shoutouts. We also have TeePublic if you want to get some swag, get dripped out in CW merch. You can do that there. And taking a look at the network. There'll be some changes going on with the network soon. Not ready to announce them just yet.
I've been fired.
We have CW on Tuesdays, Wednesdays After Dark, Thursdays Small Talk, and I believe OFAC. I don't know when OFAC is recording next, but it'll be
next week.
I think so. And then we have Mind Flayers Web. I had a very busy day Saturday, but I think we're gonna get back to it this week with the D&D show, and we have Just Another Friday Night on Fridays, and they do a great job there. And Mr. Musashi says thanks for the hangout. Sorry guys, I'm losing my voice, trying to make it in the show, but does anyone have any shout outs that they want to give?
Yeah, I do. So I wanted to mention the membership, the perks. Long before I was ever on the panel, I joined CW for the sticker perk. And I wanted to show this off because I've had this just above my web camera. So whenever I'm streaming with you guys or streaming like on my own side, for a way to remember to look at the camera and not look at my screen, I have Dean's little devil face right above my web camera. This is an old sticker now.
Why is that even a sticker?
The small amount of dollars that it is every month to become like a Patreon is worth it just for the stickers alone, let alone some of the fun times with the boys. So, yeah,
it was a Halloween sticker.
Oh, that's awesome! That's awesome. I have it like sitting right here, so I'm always looking at the camera.
Marco's got the
the aerosol.
The aerosol.
Some of these designs are just
outrageous.
Ludicrous.
Yeah.
So good.
Ludicrous, bro. Anyways, Oilers, shout out to you. You came through. You sat through the gauntlet. You did it, bro.
You put up with us. For
definitely feels like a longer
hours.
show being on the show, I have to say.
Yeah, when you got Dean interrupting you every few minutes, it
What
gets
Well,
exhausting.
I realize
that was one time.
It gets
I only can
exhausting.
participate 1/6 of the time, so I'm like, wow, this is a lot more patient waiting than I realized.
Yeah, when Dean's on, it's like 1/5 of the time. So
Okay. Okay.
It is silence.
Just kidding. I was trying to find that earlier when you were interrupting me, but I couldn't find it. Anyways, anyone else have any shout outs they want to give? Oilers, you have a really cool video coming out on your channel. I'm going to pull up your... I guess, I don't know. Are we allowed to share that photo you put in the chat today?
Yes.
Okay, let me grab that photo. We chatted a lot today. Here we go. Let's see. What do we got?
There it is.
Wow.
I love space stations along with dudes in armor. So I made this space station hallway inspired by my love of sci-fi design. And Ron Cobb was the guy who was the concept artist for Alien and Aliens. And so I took a lot of inspiration from that and made this 1/6 scale diorama. And the full build instruction video drops on my channel this Friday, 4/26, Alien Day at 6 a.m. Pacific. And you can see how I built the whole thing and a little bit of an unboxing of that Buzz Lightyear figure.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
I
So
have
damn cool.
been privileged, if you don't mind me saying,
Sure.
I got to help. Like, this is the smallest amount of, previewing the video, and Oilers had asked for some feedback, and y'all are in for a treat. It's a really, really well done video, and I would say you do an excellent job of making it very approachable. Even me, like, I've been doing this painting stuff for a long time, and you were saying some words and I was like, I think I know what he's talking about, but I'm not 100% sure. And then boom, you'd immediately like explain it more in depth. And I don't know that I would ever have the patience to make something like this, but I think if you watch the video and you take notes, I think you do make it very approachable. So it's definitely a good video, and you guys are in for a treat on Friday. It was really good.
What I try to do, like with that, and I appreciate you saying that, is just try to make it so even if somebody never wants to make this exact diorama, they can take a skill away they can use on something else.
Yeah.
So that's really what I try to do, because I find I do that when I watch other people's content. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm not going to make this, but I'll borrow that. So I try to make my stuff that way for people.
Yeah, there's a few techniques I saw that I was like, damn, I'm going to have to try that on my stuff. But yeah, does anyone else have any shout outs they want to give? Shout out to all the people that watch my studio videos. I'm going to do part 3 this Saturday as our video for the week. And yeah, I'm excited to, get that room sort of, I mean, it's habitable right now, but in the next few months, it's going to be very uncomfortable in there. So I got to get that air conditioning done soon. And yeah, excited to have some collectors come by this weekend to help me move some stuff in. And definitely excited to, you'll kind of see this background slowly get more and more boring as that happens. And then Monday I'll just be in the new room and it'll be like nothing ever happened. So anyways, I'm Zach.
I'm Marco.
Jesus Christ.
I'm Ben.
I'm Eddie. 315 episodes.
And I'm a guy.
We love you guys, and we'll catch you on the next episode. He's on mute. He's mute the whole time.
Oh man.
That's why we've been complaining about you. Jesus.